like the name, J-Rod. Yeah, and it makes sense. You know, your name's Jared. You know, you take a letter out and you spelled custom correctly. You know, there's
he's rolling it in towards the building, and I'm like, you built a Jeep?
Well, y'all nailed it. I mean, y'all got it 93% there. I mean,
that's pretty damn good.
When I see your
shit you build, you look for the flaw.
I'm trying to find the flaw because I'm like, fuck, everything's so good. They got to fuck up somewhere. There's got to be a spot that they missed, and you can't.
Or you just got to be really good at hiding them.
Yeah. Welcome to Oil and Whiskey, an Ironclad original. Today's guests, Jared Hancock and Chad. Fuck, I should have read that before. Terhar?
Terhar.
Yeah, that's what I said, Terhar.
Yeah.
J-Rod in custom, in person, in the studio. Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Been looking forward to this one.
Us too, man.
Great to be here.
Really cool. Thank you.
We appreciate you guys making the trip. That's a hike.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do this over the phone.
No.
It's always...
I think they flew.
Yeah.
We did.
Well, I was guessing out like Washington. I don't know. There's a lot of like hiking and hippie shit over there. I'm thinking maybe, you know.
Fair enough.
Who knows?
Before we get into it, we always do an on the gas and give the in-person guest an opportunity to do an on the gas. We talked a little bit before because you're special from the Northwest. You wanted to change it up a little bit and
we always have to make special accommodations for the hipsters from the Pacific Northwest.
How dare you?
You should,
boy.
Your rider that y'all sent beforehand wasn't near as long as Eric Black's. His was super special. But
and that's why we came out. He came out, so we have to.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do a shout out. Not so much on the gas, more of a shout out of somebody that's been a mentor to you that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think a big reason that I ended up doing what I'm doing. You know, guys that I kind of looked up to. Man, when I was a little kid, probably 10, 11 years old. Guys got a shop doing body and paint for years and just has held a standard that's above everything, everything that you're used to seeing. Every one of his jobs is just, man, it's still to this day, you look at it and you're like, how are you achieving this, super high standard on every vehicle that comes through your shop? But John Byers at, Byers Restorations or Customs, but yeah, pretty awesome guy, man. Like, just he's one of those guys you could call up if you're having an issue with something, and he'd walk you through it. So
all around metal guy, restoration guy,
mainly body and paint, I think is what his shop does. He does amazing graphic stuff, amazing graphics and body and paint. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
John Byers. Didn't Coulter Wall sing a song about John Byers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard that the other day. I should send that to him.
It's a strong name.
Yeah. Byers got a presence about it.
For sure. So that was the inspiration, huh?
Yeah, I think so, man. Like, just always looked up to his work, and, over the years doing body and paint, it's kind of what I got started with, whether I liked it or not. He was always, what you're striving to be. Yeah.
How young were you when you were hanging around there?
I saw it. Yeah. Like I said, probably 10. Yeah. Like 10 years old, just, going to car shows with my dad and, always looking at his cars. He was, always doing the top cars in the Pacific Northwest. So it was, pretty obvious to see his work setting, ahead of the others.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Was it the Bondo smell as a young child that kind of got the
lacquer thinner?
Yeah.
Lacquer thinner.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I started doing body and paint just out of necessity. I didn't know anybody that did it. My dad didn't know anybody that did it, and couldn't afford it. So had to learn how to do it.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of guys that got into it that way.
Yeah. I feel like everybody wants to be a fabricator. You know what I mean? So, not that it's any easier. It's just, starting out doing body and paint and going from there.
Oh, the whole motorcycle mania phenomenon. Jesse James didn't do a special on, Bondo mania.
Right.
They didn't overly glorify the guy in the body shop.
Body guys are behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like frame rail boys, there's definitely some unsung heroes. I mean, that takes a hell of a talent, but it also takes, it's different skill set, different mindset, different desire to want to do it. It's hard work.
Right.
For sure.
So what have you guys been up to short of building some of the baddest shit around and 4-wheel drive shit? Fucking everything's always been, we'll get into this stuff, but everything's always been like a little bit unique for the times that's came out of y'all's shop. Whether it's even the thought of taking on that fucking Lincoln, which I don't know why anybody would fucking put themselves through. Fuck. I've gone on record many a times to say, just because I've got personal experience with it on a couple of times, a convertible Lincoln of that era is the hardest car to build, fuck with, take apart, touch,
put back together.
Anything.
It's like a
We definitely ran into some of that with that Lincoln, and we've gotten numerous phone calls since then.
The answer is you can't afford it.
Yeah.
It's always you just can't afford it.
And that's a tough car, man. It really is.
It's a weird car that they're so popular, but there isn't that much stuff made for them. As far as reproduction part, rubber. A few years they make some decent stuff, but the early ones like Nick Griot's like, not a fun car.
I feel like that's a car that everybody truly wants. I've never met anybody that doesn't like a suicide door Lincoln.
Yeah, for sure.
That car
People who don't know
appeals to
shit
so
about
many
cars.
people.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about cars. You know what a suicide door Lincoln is. And
there's a president that rode in one once, wasn't
it was killing it back in the day. Oh, no, you were getting killed in it. Sorry. Different. No, but those were, they were the stars cars, right? Stars, president's cars, stars cars. It was just, it demanded a presence when it pulled up. There were so many unique things about it. The suicide doors, and but when you get into the nuts and bolts and the engineering that went behind in some of that shit, especially if you're going to try and like resto mod and keep some of that stuff like fucking impossible.
Yeah, that car is definitely a challenge. It's another big car that you figure like, oh, we can put any motor in there, whatever. We can do whatever we want in the engine bay.
Room. It's smaller than a Camaro under the hood.
Yeah, it is. That was tough.
It looks wide, but you've also got all the tires and inner fenders and core support sits back like 36 inches.
Yeah, tight engine bay for sure.
They're funky. We've sold a number of chassis to guys, and it's an ambitious installation.
Yeah,
it's a cool thing to do if you really want to get after it and build some floors and do some wild fab work.
I think that's we kind of like threw the spitball around about doing another one, but that's what you would do. That's just what makes sense.
Nick's car was so clean. Like we didn't do no floor repair on his, right?
No, that was a really clean car.
Yeah, it was super nice. So what little bit we had to cut the floor and whatever to get good ride height, I wouldn't want to do any more on that one, but I think throwing a chassis at it, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Is that electric over hydraulic top?
His is hard top.
Oh shit, it was hard top.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Andis's.
Sorry. Yeah, I think you're different. I fucking was hard top. Never mind.
But they got
you got off easy.
Vacuum door locks, hydraulic wipers,
some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Limit switches for the back windows to come down so the top will do.
Oh,
but
sure.
if those go out, then the top doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
Sid Shavers just came out with a bop top for him, I think.
Lift off, that'd be fucking cool.
The way to do it.
Yeah. So badass Jeep at SEMA.
Yeah.
Fucking kick-ass Jeep. Great color combo, great look, everything about it. I think that we're obviously the 4-wheel drive shit's coming on, but I think we're going to see some really wild and crazy stuff. And I think because it's so new, especially in the hot rod world, I think you're going to see guys get a little carried away with some stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're going to go a little.
I think it's kind of already gotten there.
Yeah.
What you guys brought out and what Andy brought out.
Well, yeah, I meant like styling wise. I think there's opportunity to get probably jump the shark a little bit on stuff. And y'all's was like so over the top done, yet so clean and period perfect. It was nuts.
That's cool.
It was awesome.
Man.
We were shocked we didn't know what to expect. I can vividly remember unloading it out of the trailer at SEMA between the buildings, and Jared's in it driving it, and it's kind of the first time we really saw it out in the wild, out in the sun, and like he's rolling it in towards the building, and I'm like, we built a Jeep? Like, this is so weird, right? It's almost surreal, like watching that thing roll in and then completely not knowing how it's going to be received, and if people will, if it will hit with people, like they'll recognize that, oh, it's a Jeep, and then recognize that it's done to higher quality than a normal Jeep is. But we couldn't have asked for a better reception of that thing at SEMA.
Oh, y'all nailed it. I mean, y'all got it 93% there. I mean,
that's pretty damn good.
Where did we miss that last sentence?
Maybe it's underneath. Maybe just.
There it is.
Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna start it off. You got to take the shot.
Lean into the guilt trip.
Seriously fucking awesome. For years, we've always talked about it. Anytime we know y'all are bringing something out, always get to see the debuts at SEMA. SEMA's like, it's when y'all bring your new shit out. Plus, it's
because we don't go to the West Coast.
We don't go to the West Coast, especially that far up. Yeah, but it's always one of those ones. It's kind of like a given. It's not like, hey, we need to go check that thing out and see what it's all about. It's always like,
I want to go check it out.
The fit and finish is going to be impeccable. Fit and finish is going to be always, no matter what it is that you guys from J-Rod bring out, is going to be one of the top 3, if not the top, as far as fit and finish vehicles ever. And you've always done that. Everything you've always built.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's always one of those ones you're like, motherfuckers. Look at that.
That Suburban was one. We caught that out at SEMA outside, and it's funny because it's just like certain cars that you may like not want to be like caught like gawking at, you just kind of like look at it and walk by, and that thing I'm like, I'm gonna check this motherfucker out. Now we spent 15 minutes around it. It's like, it's kind of mind-blowing because I know the scale of that project, the size of it, and just how nice that thing is. That's impressive.
How shitty they were to start with.
It's a difficult truck to start with, but you guys just have such a style about it. Like it's funny how everybody seems to like, certain builders. I wouldn't say it about everybody, but like your stuff, I could probably pick it out of, a parking lot of 1,000 cars. It's just there's something about it that just, and I think it's the fit, finish, trim. It's like the stuff just looks a certain way. Yeah, it's good, dude. It's really fucking good.
Right on, man. Thanks.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, SEMA had to be 5-6 years ago when you guys had that Black Nova out on the ramp.
Fuck.
And we were just walking by, and I was like, one of the like true like stopped us in our tracks, like, holy shit, look at this thing, and just kept staring at it.
Was it Black Nova or Charcoal Nova?
Charcoal.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Close.
Phil's
dark. Colorblind.
Phil's colorblind. Yeah.
It's a Nova.
But no, he's 100% right. And you guys have been in this for a long time, like we have, and we all still love fucking cars. We still do this for a living every day. When you go to so many shows and you see so many cars, sometimes it's easy to get a little jaded and that fire doesn't get lit as hot as it used to sometimes, right? And your vehicles always do that to where it draws you in more, regardless of the stylistic input. It's always like I'm looking at dumb shit. I'm looking at like, window surrounds and, the way the console, I'm like, motherfuck, look how good that is. Shit. and it keeps you looking at those kinds of things because it is so well done. Yeah. And you never look for flaws in a car, right?
Oh yeah.
And you always look for what's done great. Mm-hmm. Now when I see your
shit you build, you look for the flaw.
I'm trying to find the flaw because I'm like, fuck, everything's so good. They got to fuck up somewhere. There's got to be a spot that they missed, and you just got
to be really good at hiding them.
Yeah. So fucking awesome. How long you been guys? Like, how long's J-Rod been in business?
Yeah. No, good question. I think I started the shop probably about 20 years ago, where I was like, okay, I'm full time now. Like, this is what I'm doing. Where I think I kind of tiptoed in it a little bit, started out on my own, and it was easy at the time because I had a shop behind my mom's house. So, it didn't cost me anything, and it was an easy way to kind of transition and go from working for a guy and going out on my own.
Were you working in the hot rod restoration field, body shop stuff?
Started out 16 at a collision shop, but he brought on like, complete paint. So I was doing like muscle car stuff and didn't have to do the collision side at all. Started right away at 16, doing complete, projects, which was a lot of fun. Like I loved it, man. That guy gave me the freedom I needed. You know what I mean? Like I at the time, really liked working by myself. And so I'd have my own project, my own area, and just, went for it. So he kind of gave me the guidance that I needed, the freedom that I wanted, and just kind of evolved it.
I will say the name. I like the name, J-Rod. Yeah, and it makes sense. Your name's Jared. You take a letter out and you spelled custom correctly. There's
not a K on it.
It could have been just Jared's Custom with a K.
You're thinking about adding a Z to the end.
You gotta stretch it out too.
You got to put it aggressive on both ends. So it's cool. I like it.
Cool.
Were you thinking at that point, yeah, we're just going to build the baddest fucking shit out there? Or is it like, I just want to build fucking cars and I'll take the jobs that come through? Or do you have a vision?
Yeah, I think, it's weird because I knew early on exactly what I wanted to do. And I did. I always wanted to do the high level cars. But geez, when you're early 20s, getting an opportunity to do that, that's like winning the lotto. So I had to do a lot of shit to get to that point, and still do a lot of shit to get to that point. But, yeah, I did a lot of just, standard body and paint on Mustangs and Camaros and trucks and whatever I could get to pay the bills. And
what was the first paying job that came in the door when it was your shop?
Yeah. Man, I got stuck doing Mustangs like back to back. So the one that stands out was like a 66 convertible black for a local guy. Don't even recall where he came from, just called me. And that was probably, that was the first, job paying the bills, and one where I'm like, that car looks pretty damn good. I'd hate to see it today, but.
What year was this?
Shit. I bet I was 19 or 20. So however old that is, 2002. Yeah.
Are you blown away that somebody trusted their pride and joy with a young kid?
100%. Yeah.
Then paint it black on top of that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I couldn't imagine trusting a 20-year-old,
What did that job pay?
Probably $5,000. Yeah.
Now you know why they took it. Now you know why they had you do it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be 95 today.
Oh man.
You couldn't buy the abrasives for $5,000.
Absolutely not. Yeah. It's hilarious looking back on it. Yeah. And being so scared, to hand them an invoice or whatever. Like, oh shit.
Single stage or base coat clear?
That's base clear. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You made no money on that.
Absolutely not.
You made no money.
No.
Even back then, you had to have fucking $3,500 in materials.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But
yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah, got the job done and didn't get anything from it. But
little experience.
Yeah, just experience really, and it was like that for years. But I was happy. Like I really do enjoy it.
Well, we've talked about this 100 times with everybody's kind of got the same story ish and all that stuff, and you take the next one, and it keeps snowballing. The guy comes in, and the next one's $7,500. The next one's like, oh, I'll pay you to do this. You do a little rust repair. You start doing that. What's the first one that's kind of like, oh shit, I'm like got a little bit of a budget.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this thing together and be proud enough where I can like campaign it, or I'll go to some shows with the guy and like hand out and try to get some business. What was the first vehicle build that way?
That was a 69 Camaro I did for a guy in Alabama, actually. And Jason Rushworth's a great friend of mine. He linked me up with that guy. He sent his car up to Wayne Dew to have the chassis done, or the front clip or whatever. And Wayne did the front clip and may have mini tubbed it and did like a Detroit rear. So David was looking for, a guy to do body and paint and a few custom touches to the car. Jason did a rendering and everything. And I jumped at it. Like, Jason linked me up with this guy and it worked out great. It was a good fit. And, it was a big dollar car to me at the time. And it was for sure. It's significantly bigger than anything I had going on. LS7, that was like the first LS7 in our whole area. Like, this is a big deal. Debuted it. Actually, we debuted it at Columbus. He took it home, and then we met up with it at SEMA. It really debuted at SEMA done. and it did great. Got a Mother's Shine Award, or not Shine, geez, the
They don't just
Choice.
give those things away,
Yeah,
do they?
no, Mother's Choice Award.
It's tough to get a Shine Award, man.
Yeah, haven't gotten one of those. But yeah, I did really well. But unfortunately for me, it was, owner was in Alabama, so it didn't hit any of my local shows. I didn't get a chance to kind of play with it, on the West Coast, but got in a magazine with it, did real well at SEMA, and I think it just kind of, added to, to our background. So that car, I think, really pushed us to the next level. I was still solo. I had a couple guys coming in helping build the car, but nobody, consistent or full time. And that was in my mom's shop in her backyard, my dad's old shop. So it was 24 by 36. I did all the bodywork, paint, assembly, color sand, buff, like everything in there.
Damn.
Yeah.
It cleaned the shit out of that thing after you were done.
Yeah, man. It was like you paint,
Sand and
you're done for the day.
bodywork,
Like,
right?
it was miserable, but I didn't have a
Got
choice.
a makeshift paint booth, Visqueen, and some furnace
oh God,
filters. And
yeah.
The paint
Yeah.
probably came
How I
out
got away
cleaner
with
than a
that, I don't know.
downdraft booth, too.
Yeah.
It's funny,
bet.
man.
Like-
Yeah, like people would be like, "Where do you paint?" I'm like, oh, right here.
You move enough air, you'd be surprised what
right.
you can do.
Yeah, yeah.
And you won't have a fucking not a gnat
fish
or a
eye,
thing in
nothing.
it, whatever. You put it in a $200,000 fucking
Dude, we
GFS
sprayed-
booth or whatever. and-
we fucked up the nose on the old toter home, and I think we couldn't fit it in the booth. We had something going on in the booth. We put it in the frame rail shop to paint it and cleared it. And the
Perfect
fucking,
place to
it
paint.
didn't
something.
clean.
Yeah.
Shit, I think we swept real quick, sprayed it, turned the exhaust fan on. It was like the cleanest,
Right.
flawless finish you've ever seen on a white hood. Right?
It's just full of grinding dust
That's
and
great.
WD-40 and Gibbs oil.
Yeah. Laid down flat, didn't you have to cut it and buff it?
Exactly. Dude, I'm curious when you're getting into something like that, what do you think steers guys from there's two directions you can go, I feel like. If a guy brings you a car like that, and what prevents you from being like the baddest dude at the local cruise night or building stuff and having a career that lives there versus taking the other route and now you're good guy shows, SEMA, fucking magazines, Mother's Awards.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that, really. We don't go to many shows
Yeah.
still.
I think the customer kind of steers that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what shows they want to go to, because we won't really push to go for a show that's far away that we have to travel to or whatever. It's usually the customer wanting to do a show, so we'll end up taking it for them. But that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder that in general. Even with
Yeah.
us, you're thinking about that because they're two totally different worlds.
Really are.
And you could be
Yeah.
so damn good at it and have a great business,
Yeah.
and you're just
Stuck in a local world.
forever
Yeah.
It's all over the place. I mean,
Right.
you run into you go to these shows. I mean, when you got 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 cars or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're built. 90% of them are built by either the home guy or the guy that's a local around the thing.
Yeah.
It's aspirations, I guess. I mean,
or those are the guys they're sitting here listening to me
guaranteed
like
they're
those
making-
those dumb fucks were the ones making all the money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy your magazine.
They don't-
It's
yeah.
I wouldn't have painted that Mustang for $5,000.
right. Exactly.
I would go the other way. We almost, it's like a chore to go to a cruise night on a Thursday night that's 5 miles down the road, but we'll spend 3 days loading up a truck and trailer and drive across the country and go to Pleasanton,
Yeah.
California for a show. and
Yeah.
like it's nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Aspiration.
that's a good one.
So what's the next step after that? So you do that, you get some, magazine coverage and all that. And as we all know, anybody that's had a car in a magazine, instantly when that hits the newsstand, I mean, you got to have another phone line because the phones are
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean,
You're signing
And the money
autographs.
coming in.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
women,
You gotta find-
it's wild.
you got to
dude.
get another boat.
Just
Right.
picture for the listeners, picture mid to late '80s Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah.
Right.
With a touch of poison thrown in there. Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
smoke.
Just, I'm just going to throw you money. Obviously that happens,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah. So I get back.
And when you
still
burn
living
through
with
all
my
that.
mom.
In my mom's basement.
Yeah. Yeah. Just got on the next job that was nothing like that one, and just kind of had hopes of, I think it was a couple of years before I got another big one where it was like, okay, we're going to do something with this car. And had some great jobs in between for sure, but no SEMA cars. The next big car was that Nova. And that was, another local customer. We linked up with Jason Rushforth again, and he did a rendering and did the wheels, and really a neat customer, man. Like, he already bought the car, which still to this day, I don't know if we've had a customer come to us say, "Hey, I want to build this car. Will you find it for me?" It's always you're dealing with some crap that they found on eBay, paid 3 times what they should, and
no rust.
Oh,
super
God.
clean.
Yeah, no rust. There was literally a road sign for a quarter panel. Like once we started stripping this car, it's an
Arizona car.
Oh God,
grandma owned. Yeah.
So
short bed.
Yeah, once that Nova came in, and we he said he wanted a nice car, so we started stripping it down. Realized, dude, that you don't even barely have a Nova here.
So Nova roof.
We replaced the roof. It needed everything. So I just kind of got into it, and I'm like, man, we got to replace this whole floor. Let's just do a chassis. Let's get this thing sitting proper. And so we did, and he kind of let us run with it, and got some great freedom on that car. And I think that's kind of probably where I would think we found our style. Still to this day, very proud of that car. One of my favorites. I love that, obviously it's still a 67 Nova. There's a lot of chrome on the car. I like the chrome, tucked bumpers, just very clean. We just cleaned up what the factory did. Put a big engine in it, Mast LS7, 5-speed manual, which, God, guys, it was really nice hearing you guys talk about the 5-speed manuals.
Never experienced that before.
Yeah. So I enjoy that every time you guys bring that up.
It's really a 4-speed because the second gear is not really.
As long as it drops down to 3,500 RPMs, then you can get into gear.
And you wait a minute, wait a little longer, and then you can shift. But that car was a blast, man. Like we debuted it at SEMA, and that was one of those cars that right when it was done, it was done. It was a happy car, man. It just wanted to go out and party. It is the happiest when you're beating on it. Owner, he let us take it to Arizona, Texas, California. We've autocrossed it. I beat the shit out of that car, and it's just that's its happy place.
It's still like you're saying, walking down that ramp, seeing that
it's one of the
profile,
few cars I always know where it was, and it was
fucking glass.
Yeah. Do you have the
fucking glass?
Do you have the technology to pull that up? Here. Do you,
Jamie?
Let's see.
Come on, Jamie.
Unfortunately, we don't have the Rogan budget, so we have to locate it ourselves.
And I think that car has the record for the
I actually cut the
undisclosed
video
location
because,
burnout.
Right, the Mexico burnout video.
You guys do those too? That's a long drive for you.
That's part of our rigorous testing procedures.
Yeah.
Try going to Canada. It's probably just a little closer.
Oh, yeah. That was at Arizona. So we went down there because we got a Muscle Machine of the Year pick and ran on the autocross and qualified for Duel in the Desert, which is pretty freaking cool. Like, to go down there with a car like that and just play around, you know what I mean? And then end up qualifying with some really fast cars. That was a lot of fun. That was a great time.
I'm just surprised you got it to sit like that. Y'all had to do some heavy modifications.
Yeah.
It's a tough car to steer too. Man, it's tough to get those things turned.
Yeah.
When they're
So
low.
good though when they're hammered and wheels tucked up.
Yeah, that's its limit right there for sure. You can't go any lower than that.
Did you stretch the rear wheel opening?
No.
Rear window would go all the way down?
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. It's been a long time. I'm going to say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
At that point, you're in the new shop. How many employees you got?
That is kind of my second shop. At that time, when that car was finished, I had 2 employees and a couple guys that would come in at night and help me out. So at that point, like, it was kind of a funny part in my career where I was kind of working 2 shifts where I'd work normal day with the 2 employees, go in, eat dinner, hang out with the family a little bit, and then go work until, 1, 2 in the morning with another friend of mine, uninterrupted. You know what I mean? I really liked working those nights. Phone wouldn't ring. You wouldn't have any visitors. Nothing to do but work, and it's fun. I did that for years. But yeah, that car got built with basically 4 or 5 guys working on it. But
when did you come into the picture, Chad?
When did you finish that car? That went to SEMA 2012 or 13.
With dates. When in a year after your wagon.
13.
Okay.
So I came into it. I started working for Jared in 15. I built industrial machinery for almost 20 years, and then was always into cars. Kind of grew up into it. And then Tim Strange did my car on his show. Maybe you can
Tim's getting a lot.
Yeah,
he's getting too much.
Yeah.
He's getting too much.
Yeah.
But he's
already got a huge fucking head. Imagine how big it's gonna get now. Like physically big fucking head.
I made the mistake of telling him that we were doing this, so I thought he was gonna call you and give you a bunch of dirt on me. Or,
we can call him later.
Yeah. We haven't drunk dialed anyone in a while.
Let's drunk dial Tim Strange.
I'm sure he's available. Hit him up.
But yeah, so he did the wagon for me and my family, and then that got me linked up with Jared, because when Tim came to town, he also went to visit Jared. You guys had met years prior to that.
Yep.
And kind of linked up with Rushforth and that whole circle, but that's how I got introduced to Jared. So I started working for him when my industrial machinery job got slow, and I was kind of on partial unemployment. So I worked part-time for Jared, and it just snowballed into what it is now. And yeah, I started in 15 and been full-time ever since. So
You still making hubcap clips?
very lightly. Yeah.
You were ahead of the fucking time.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
It was. And I can't remember the first year. I can't remember what year I started those, but I did
You know the clips I'm talking about?
I'm not familiar. I mean, I know hubcap clips.
He was making clips for like the mob steel wheels and shit like that or whatever. You could just drill and tap and made the template, drill and tap it. Then you could put poverty caps and dog dishes and shit like that. That was way back. That was before any aftermarket company was building anything to accept a fucking hubcap.
The only reason I made them is because I had a K5 that I converted to 2-wheel drive, and I tried the Volkswagen caps. They're garbage. And I think I maybe tried another one, and they were junk too. And so I just started making them. And then I posted it on Instagram or whatever, and people were like, "Oh man, you're going to sell those, blah, blah, blah." And it just snowballed into, I think I make them out of banding material.
Don't give away all your secrets.
I don't even care. It's already
Everybody's just go make your own. Don't bother me anymore.
There's a Canadian company that stole.
Really?
That used to buy them from me and stole the idea.
Dude, that's about the last fucking straw with Canada. We should fucking America should do something.
I mean, but they made maple syrup.
Well, let's go just take it.
Yeah. But anyway, there's like 1,700 feet on a roll, and I think I've gone through 4 rolls.
Holy
So
shit.
it's thousands of clips.
Is there 3 inches in a clip or 2.5 inches?
Yeah, it's slowed way down, which is fine because I, got other stuff going on or whatever. But yeah, that's how that kind of went.
How many did you have to give Tim Strange for free?
I don't know. He
Probably
every once in a while.
1,700
Remember when I
roll.
built your car? I need some clips.
Fucking Tim. We're gonna call Tim. We're gonna wait till he gets later though.
We'll have to FaceTime with his kittens and all those crazy shit going on over there.
Yeah, he's big on the cat shit.
Yeah, he's a cat guy.
Yeah, you are.
Eh.
I will give. I'll listen here. Right now, today.
Yeah.
I'll go on record as to say, you don't get any shit for being a cat guy, because that cat has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
that cat hates you.
It fucking hates me.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that cat hates you proves that you're not a cat guy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just a long play on his
Yeah,
part. He started out, they had to get the cat because there's a mouse problem.
Well, they got the cat because he wanted a cat. It just turns out the cat hates him, so now he's no longer a cat guy.
That's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Cat does not like you.
Kevin's a fucking asshole.
Well, you named him Kevin for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So you come on board, right?
Yeah.
And their stuff's fucking rolling.
Yeah. It was already. Yeah. Kind of.
You helped me with the Nova, prep that
Right.
before Arizona.
Yeah. We did that. lot of smaller jobs kind of go through the shop at that time. And I think Nick's Lincoln was probably
It was really close. Yeah.
around that time. So yeah, but
Got in on a little budget build, that Lincoln. Just
Yeah,
a little,
yeah,
little quick hitter.
just got thrown in the deep end. And,
Little in and out job.
but yeah, that was a good time. I mean, it's been a blast. So, you know, getting through some of those builds and stuff, it's fun seeing them finished and out there. But it's definitely been a good ride.
How many guys y'all got now?
Let's see, 4 total, including me. Yeah.
What's y'all's process? You talked about the customer earlier. You're talking about the customer designates. You want to go to these builds. You want to go to this. So what's your process when a guy calls up and is like, hey, take the Lincoln out of it because that's Nick Griot, right?
Yeah.
That's a different situation. Now the fucking Jeep's Griot too. So say a customer calls in and is like,
It's
hey.
not Nick Griot.
Yeah, that's not Nick Griot, right? That's like, hey, I want to build XYZ.
Yeah.
You know, what's your process? I'm always interested in it. We don't go down this path a lot. And there's a lot of guys out there that are, you know, newer in business and they really want to hear like the ins and outs. When a customer is calling in, because generally the first thing is always out of a customer's mouth, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I got money.
Right.
Budget is not an option.
Oh yeah, they all say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till there's a budget.
Right. Right.
But there's always a budget, right?
Yeah.
So tell us the process, how you guys do it.
Yeah, no, that's tough. And I think it really varies on, you know, how the conversation goes. But yeah, if I get a phone call, somebody wants to build whatever it is, you know, yep. Okay. Either I'm interested. It's, you know, something that we're interested in building, not, you know, a typical cookie cutter car. Or
Let's call it a 2005 Hummer just for,
yeah,
ooh.
I could be into that. No.
A hard truck to make straight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just be, you know, I typically tell them, shoot me an email, outline what your expectations are, what you know, want to do with the vehicle, and, you know, power plant, chassis, wheels, you know, whatever they got for ideas, throw it down on paper and, you know, let's see it and go over it and kind of go from there. It's hit and miss, you know, cause you're right. Majority of guys will have an idea of what they want, but not necessarily say, hey, I've got, you know, this much to spend, or this is my budget. And I'd almost prefer if guys do come, you know, at us with that, because then it really can kind of scale out the project rather than going the opposite way where you're like, okay. And then it just kind of snowballs and snowballs. And you look back, you're like, damn, if I knew it was going to get to this level in the beginning, we would have changed this, this, and this.
Or you'd hate to
Wheels.
bring
Right.
that. You'd hate to bring it in under budget. Like at the end, if the guy's like, "Damn, this is a good deal," I was ready to spend like $750. Like,
Yeah.
shit.
Right, hang on, we got to final detail it real quick.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head, though. The first thing out of your mouth was, what do you want to do with the vehicle?
Yeah.
That's, you cannot overlook that, and that it's importance.
Yeah.
Especially anybody that's out there listening. What you want to do, what that customer wants to do with the vehicle sets the guardrails for everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the budget. It
Right.
doesn't matter about any of the other kind of stuff, because what they want to do with the vehicle sets all those things.
For sure.
What you want to do with the vehicle, you might not be able to afford.
Yeah.
What you want to do with the vehicle might say that you don't need 2,500 horsepower.
Yep.
I just, you know, me and my kids want to, you know, cross country. I want to really do some road trips.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
like a 632.
you're right. Well,
4-speed.
Yeah.
if the most important thing out of your mouth is what you want to do with the vehicle, then here's some guidelines. That motor will
Right.
not allow you to do the things that you want to do with the car with the most fun or chance of success.
Yeah.
And that changes the entire build layout going forward.
Yeah. No, it really does. And
I want to go win Detroit. Well,
Yeah. Detroit, what's that?
let me give you some other shops you might want to call.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it really does lay down some, you know, kind of an outline, you know, for what the direction we can take it from there as well, because that's important to us. Is, you know, some of our customers have a really good idea on what they want, you know, where they'll kind of box us in with, you know, if it's a certain color, wheel and tire or whatever. But
two worst parts of any build.
yeah,
Picking wheels, picking color.
right. But I love the freedom. You know what I mean? Like engine bays are big for us. It's a fun area to be creative. Yep. You know, interiors, I think we've kind of turned that direction as well, where, you know, dashes, consoles, and just everything that you see when you're sitting in the vehicle, you know what I mean?
Touch,
like,
feel.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
For sure.
And those are fun areas to spend a lot of time at. But yeah, it just depends on the customer and, you know, what they're doing.
How do you juggle that? Like, customer comes in and he's got an idea, he's got a budget in mind. How do you work with that budget? Like, knowing that you've got a certain way you want that console to be. There's going to be some machine parts. You want the dash a certain way. There's going to be X amount of dollars there, but man, I also got to put full floors in this thing. I got to build wheel tubs. Are you like cognizant of that moving through that? Like, do you push through that stuff to get to the cool stuff at the end, or are you like wildly detailed with everything?
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's just a constant battle, right? Like, yeah, I mean, you could skimp out on the floor detail and, you know, the early fabrication style, and spend more on the final details that everybody sees, but maybe it's not going to take a cool picture for Instagram.
Exactly.
Is the customer paying for cool pictures on Instagram?
I wish, no. Yeah, but it's something everybody enjoys, really, you know? Yeah. Like, I like the customers that enjoy the process, you know, and that makes it fun when they're engaged with the project and want to kind of see us be creative and, you know, do things to our highest level. That's the fun.
So you're almost saying it takes like the right customer and shop relationship to build a good car.
Big time.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, right.
That Suburban is a good example of that, because as far as like budget, knowing where to stop, stuff like that, that was kind of one of the first ones we started going really intricate with detail inside, and machine parts and chrome and all that stuff. But that was always up to the customer,
right?
You know, there was other things we could have done. We could have scaled it back. We could have, you know, done stuff a little bit different style, but that's always like great communication with the customer, bouncing ideas off of them bouncing back. Like, that's where that comes into play. That's where it's so important to have good communication.
When the customer says, I want you to show off throughout the entire build, impress me.
Sure.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
When the customer says, I want you to impress me with the way this thing drives, performs, stuff like that. I want to leave the outside like it is. I already love the way that thing looks. Yeah. Impress me. When they say show out, like, that's when you get the best. You get the best out of the shop. You get the happiest customer. You get the best vehicle. When the customer comes in, it's like, all right, I've already talked to a couple other shops. They said they can do it for X amount of dollars. I've bought my own motor.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine, Gary, down the road.
Gary builds a hell of a motor.
Gary builds a hell of a big block. Yeah. And I think you can build this car for X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Fucking run.
Yeah. Fucking
run. There's no amount of money that you're going to get out of that customer that's going to benefit your shop, your guys, and any of that kind of stuff. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not right.
The supplied parts are tough, man. It really is. It's never a successful.
Oh, they always go wrong.
Formula, ever.
It doesn't matter
in the
what
history
it
of the world.
It doesn't. It could be a bought.
It's like, I got this master cylinder,
bare rotor in a box.
There's just something about it. I want to build the whole car around it. That thing ends up being like some unicorn that never fucking fits.
What did you guys think when the Suburban came in? Is it something you're excited to do? Is it a challenge that it's something that never really nobody's built a high-end Suburban to that level, that range, and it's a massive project to try to wrap your head around.
No, it is, man. And
only got 3 doors, though. It's not that big.
Yeah, right.
It had 4. We took the fourth one out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the number one question. No, that one was great, man, because it was for a customer we've already done a couple builds for. So I already knew communication was there. He's going to pay us. He's got great style. So I knew it was going to be an entertaining project. You know what I mean? He came in with
oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. With, some good ideas on
All
that
down.
one. And we just kind of ran with it. and added to it along the way. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Who picked the color?
Customer. I fought
Good,
him.
dude. It's a
Oh,
good
man.
color choice.
It is. I hate to admit it, Michael, but yeah, you did pretty good on that.
We already told him he
Yeah,
won on that
he
one.
did.
What color did you want?
What the hell? I think I wanted a darker blue and a solid
Yeah.
white. I did not
yeah.
want pearl white.
It was like I think, didn't we pick like a Corvette or a late
Yeah.
model GM?
You just didn't want to
Metallic blue.
spray the tri-coat is all
It
you
was-
didn't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Things are
tri-coat was
modeled like
easier
crazy
than
on
that
that roof.
blue. That blue gave me hell.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. But figured it out like you always do, right? Yeah.
Dude, it was funny. I had a customer that I think he met your customer with that truck somewhere, and he brought it up because the truck's obviously badass, and he was like, I was talking to him about how much this thing costs. I'm like, I know he had like a relatively high end car, but not. It's nowhere near the level of that. So, oh yeah, did he tell you like how much? Was it?
You feel much better, don't
Must
you?
have been pretty expensive, right?
How much was the sanding and buffing bill? How many hours? Come on.
Yeah.
You ever sit back and think though about back in those days when you were come home, eat dinner, go and bust ass, working late. Then that next one, you're like, oh fuck, Rush Force is gonna do the wheels, right?
Yeah.
You think back about how jaded we get about some things, whatever. Think back about the very first build you got to do that had a custom cut set of wheels.
Yeah.
Like that was a one-off set of wheels. That was
It's crazy.
like,
Yeah.
and now it's just become so commonplace.
Right.
Like there's so many things that were like life. I remember like the first LS, like actually doing
Yeah.
fuel injection with it, accessory driving. Like this is
street and performance catalog.
this is
now.
NASA level shit. And
Yeah.
For us, it was the first set of just 20-inch wheels. They were torque thrusts. We put them on a 34 Highboy, like Gibbs. What the fuck was it?
Yeah.
Gibbons?
Gibbons. Yeah,
body.
Gibbons body.
It's a Viper, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we all just stood back. It was me, Phil, and Chad. I
it's the
think.
largest wheels.
And we're
ever.
just like, just in awe of like what we just created. Like this is gonna set the world on fire. This is the greatest car
We
ever
did it,
built.
guys.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
like $180 a piece wheel.
Yeah,
Now,
the tires are more than the wheel.
now the damn valve stems cost more than that.
the industry just keeps progressing. I mean,
Yeah.
billet hinges back in the day, like
Right.
first set of, where a customer would be like, you know what? Let's do it.
Right.
Oh, fuck. Wow.
You serious?
You sure?
Yeah.
Is that in the budget?
Yeah. It's just, and it's, I think it's important for everybody, no matter what end of the spectrum you're on, to realize where you came from and then also realize where you're headed. Like, you still have that drive, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It changes your mindset if you can hear some people be like, hey, guess what? Like,
Yeah, for sure. And it for me, like, I'm super grateful. Like the guys that I've got in the shop, they're all my best friends. Like I'd do anything for them for sure. And there's days, I come out in the shop or whatever and just kind of look around. I'm like, oh man, how is this possible? Like if 20-year-old me would see this place now, I wouldn't believe it. And it's nothing like you guys have here, obviously, but I'm pretty freaking proud of it. And
Shit, you should
I'm
be.
aware of it. You know what I mean? Where it's, it doesn't get comfortable.
dude, you know how long we worked to like clean this place up when y'all guys are coming?
Oh, I know the drill.
There are no billable hours for the last
I mean, we talk to guys all the time, especially, and that's kind of, I guess, what we've been really interested in is some of the younger guys coming up. Unfortunately, we're getting older every day. And once you start getting older, you start getting nostalgic and you start thinking about some of the pivotal moments in your career and the thing and people you looked up for and looked up to, and some of the things they said along the way that you absolutely didn't listen to. You're like, fuck, whatever.
Right.
Easy for you to say.
Yep.
Right. But then it makes so much sense when you start getting a little bit further down, and you talk to guys all the time and they're just like, the drive is so fucking awesome. And you see the things that they're doing. And like the passion that they've got and what they're trying to, what the willing to sacrifice for stuff. And you remember back of all the sacrifices that you did and the things. It's really fucking cool to see that like this industry as a whole is not like going anywhere.
It's refreshing.
There's some badass motherfuckers out there.
Oh, there really is. Yeah.
That
For
Logan dude from K32.
Yes,
Yeah, when are you guys gonna have him on?
We should get him on, man.
we should.
Because he's exactly that, like the
We've
passion.
we've told him he's good enough. I mean,
No, but
you got to be careful. That fucking ego's gonna get out of control.
He jumped in his truck, drove out here,
Yeah.
pick up a chat. He came from like Alaska. Where the fuck did he come from?
Kansas.
I don't think it's that far. Yeah,
It's far.
Kansas.
Was it?
it's Kansas.
Oh fuck.
It's
Yeah.
still far.
All right, it's far enough.
Super
right?
far. I mean, no. I mean, why would
And-
you?
Not as far as they walked, but
Yeah,
Yeah, I suppose.
I think
Anyway.
it's
Washington
Was
is
that
farther.
a wheelchair joke? Was that the
Yeah.
oh fuck!
I told you to stay away from the wheelchair jokes.
Jesus
Jeez.
Christ, Phil.
unreal?
They can edit that out. Phil's
Phil.
That's right.
Phil's known for
He's
fucking
he's
being
taking it well.
horribly offensive.
Yeah.
We apologize for
He
that.
was talking about hiking and
Oh, you're gonna turn that around on me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
We're sorry.
It's okay.
We got to get by
Everybody's good. Yeah.
said he had thick skin.
No, you've got to make. You got to.
Oh,
drag
that wasn't even close.
Drag
Yeah.
it out to be.
You gotta
fucking
you gotta
horribly offensive.
You got it way worse than that.
Like, what would you, if you could go back and tell early 20-year-old you something?
Yeah.
What would it be?
Oh boy. I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't want to change much. I think maybe I'd learn how to properly manage, rather than just kind of learn by trial and error. I don't think that I worked in, enough shops or around people that, that knew how to manage, a crew of guys. So I struggled with that for years, probably until, probably about Chad coming along. So that was tough to, give everybody their freedom and give them a chance to, do things in their own way rather than micromanaging or, rule with an iron fist or, however you want to say it. But
So Chad taught you how to do that?
no, I think it was just a different part of my life, where I think I just, realized I got older, right? And just kind of, I didn't need to hold his hand. So, maybe he unintentionally showed me that. And
You're welcome.
yeah, whatever.
Or he just didn't
Plug
listen.
your ears, Chad.
Yeah, I probably didn't listen.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
That would be it, and I don't even know how to achieve that, just because I'm really grateful for the guys that I did work for. Everybody taught me something, and I had no clue. I had no clue how to deal with other guys. I just always thought, yeah, you get a group of guys together, we're just going to go in a shop and build some cool cars. There's so much more to it than that. You know what I mean?
Dude, at the same time, though, it's like you have to go through all those things and learn the hard way. Like, there's no shortcuts. You wouldn't want to go back and tell yourself the secret because you wouldn't be who you are
Yeah.
today.
Right. And I feel that for sure. There isn't very many changes that I would make. Not everything's been easy, but I'm pretty stoked where we're at.
Do you remember the car build that you did, or what point you were at in the shop to where you were like, oh, fuck, we got this shit figured out and we don't make any more mistakes?
No.
Because we hear that all the time on shops that are learning and coming up, and they're like, man, I mean, I guess you guys don't have it. We're like, no, we haven't fucked up in like 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
and you get to a point where you just don't fuck up anymore, right?
Is
Well,
that
even
right?
when you get to
We're
the
trying
point
to
where
get
maybe
there.
you don't, then the parts do. Like it's all. I mean, it's
That's the biggest fucking
built by
takeaway.
hand,
You
man.
you
It's like-
meet all these younger guys, and I remember being there, of talking to Troy or Alan Johnson or Bobby Alloway and stuff like that, and they weren't doing it for advice. They weren't doing it to make you feel better. They were just doing it because we were fucking hanging out in the parking lot, and they're like, oh yeah, fucking 2 days ago, fucking radiator shit the fucking bed and had to do this, and you're like, oh fuck,
Right.
y'all have fucking problems, and instantly you're like, oh man, I've always thought I was a fucking failure,
Yeah.
or it was like imposter, but
I mean, that
fucking
doesn't-
shit happens.
It doesn't
Yeah.
like change all that. I mean, you still
No,
you're
man,
not that
and
great, dude.
on-
It's like, Alan
On the
Johnson-
heels of me saying something fucking nice, you're gonna come back with that?
Alan Johnson's pretty good, dude. Alan Johnson's nice.
I think it is important. We don't touch on this topic near enough, and it's important for people to understand that You could do your fucking best for years.
Yeah.
And shit fucking happens. You don't intentionally fuck up. You don't intentionally, and it's not like you said, it's fucking part failures that's difficult to explain.
Product failures.
Yeah. To a customer that like it bolts on.
Right.
And now it doesn't work. Like
it's how you deal with it, how you get through it, how you remedy it. I think that's the thing you learn.
That's one of the coolest things that I think you guys got going on here, because that's where I think we have all heard it and seen it the most. We didn't have these big high level builders in our area sharing all of these, all this information. So hearing it on here with, you guys bringing on Bobby Alloway and, all of these guys that everybody
first of all, Bobby's not done it yet. And I'm
okay.
And I'm telling you what,
he's not listening to this one either.
That fucking check that we just wrote. We might have a problem with that if he doesn't do the episode.
We should have put that on a credit card so we could dispute it.
I put it in the fucking contract. I hand wrote it in the bottom of it. I don't think they saw it. Anyway,
it's good to hear, right? Like, it's refreshing, and I think it's what other shops, young builders, anybody messing with this stuff needs to hear. Is it's not. I mean, we look at you guys, and it's like, how in the hell are they building, this many cars a year to this high level and not dealing with these issues? Well, nobody really shares their issues, right? Like, I joke with the guys in the shop all the time, like, we need to start an Instagram page of, fuck ups that everybody can chime in on and, have fun with. And just so you can see what works, what doesn't, how this happened, all of that. But it's nice that you guys aren't so damn proud. You'll share the screw ups and the struggles. People need to hear it.
I think you need an Instagram page to share the solutions to the shit that you beat your head against the wall for hours and hours.
I think we need an Instagram page of
that's not my
how
phone.
to turn the phone off.
Not me.
Wow.
Is it important?
It's Jared.
Better be important.
Wow.
Anyways, the amount of times like you beat your head against the wall for hours and hours and then stumble across something stupid that, you found a 130-degree bend in a power steering fitting that's causing the power steering scream. Or
exactly.
It's beneficial certainly to be open with that stuff with your peers. Like, I'd say, Jeremy Miranda is a good buddy of mine, and we're on the phone every day. Yeah. And there's a pretty good chance that like one or the other has experienced that issue. So if he's dealing with something, like, he'll bounce it off me. If I'm dealing with something, I'll bounce it off him. And a lot of times it's like, dude, we might have spent like 60 hours that we ate to like problem solve that, troubleshoot it, and we've got the remedy. And like, I'm excited to give him that, to know that I can help him out with that, and vice versa. Yeah. Like, same thing. Cause I would like everybody to learn to avoid them having to deal with that bullshit, to be like, dude, you would never believe this.
I know you're chasing that squeak in the driver left rear wheel, but did you put a cowl induction air intake from Holman Moody on that motorbike?
With a wing nut?
I'm going to tell you right now.
You didn't put a lock washer on it?
Coming from the firewall. Put a star washer on it. It's coming from the firewall.
Dude, that one was something else.
There's never been anything like it.
We risked our lives to try to find
We built a 57 Ford for George Poteet. He's had that car for fucking 20-something years, 25 years. Baby blue. Great car. Survivor. Badass chassis on it. That was the birth of the Ride Line. Birth of the Ride Line chassis. Really did a cool ass under the hood. Original Holman Moody cowl air induction intake, right? Did an LS because we wanted to like work.
Sure.
And did all FE inspired. Really fucking cool car. Fun car. Great car. There's a rubber.
It was like the perfect driving car. We were like,
it was
finally the one where we're like, holy fuck, this thing is amazing.
We got out in it and did like a weekend trip of like bourbon hunting and driving all around. There's a
squeak. I thought it was more like
and it was
playing that on loop.
There was no constant to it. It wasn't speed related. It wasn't bump related. It just happened. It was basically like you had like your Aunt Martha's parakeet under the hood, right? And
it ruined the whole car.
First of all, it wasn't under the hood. It just was happening inside the car. So fucking chased it. Literally, I got in the trunk. I'm fucking claustrophobic, right? I got in the trunk. He shuts the trunk, right? Because we were dead set. It was from like the trim, the factory trim on the driver's side. We pinpointed it to there. He's driving it, right? I'm in the back. I'm inside the wheel well. My arm's there. I'm touching things. I'm pushing stuff. And you can hear it. Like I'm back there and can hear it, but you can't put your hands on it.
Yeah.
Then he's driving. I'm laying in the back seat, like on the floor,
Seats
upside
being
down,
pulled
seats
out.
out.
Roll the windows up, like touching, pushing.
We got to the point we were like up on the top of the fender, like driving through the parking lot. One guy like hitting bumps.
Yes.
We had the doors apart, like checking the doors. We had the whole interior apart.
There was like, this was literally chasing it all the time, right? For, I don't know, fucking less than a week, right at a week. Pulling it into the shop one night, right? And like you hit the transition from the parking lot to the slab, and it was like you heard the like, oh fuck,
Back up.
wait. Hold on, stop. Pop the hood. And we had the hood, it was, flip forward hood on those 57s. I was like, back up, backs up, whatever. And I don't hear it. Pulls forward, don't hear it. I'm like, the fuck is it? It's right here. And like, you just touch the intake. And I heard it. We're like, oh, fuck. fuck.
It
And
was like a staple, wasn't it?
they do a rubber transition like from the cowl to the air cleaner, right? And it's basically stapled together the way that factory rubber piece is.
Yeah.
And there's a little flange on the firewall, and that one bit of rubber and that staple would just barely contact every now and then. And I mean, it was like
nails on a chalkboard.
it was like as soon as we pulled it off, like doves flew out. Like we have solved it.
Awesome.
That was the
Elves
noise.
are
of the
making
doves.
Yeah, right.
But the complete opposite spot of where.
Unfortunately, that one's not useful for anybody else.
Because nobody would ever do
If
that.
somebody else calls and is like, dude, I gotta.
You're gonna get phone calls
Is
about
it?
that.
Yeah,
now.
you're like, is it got a Holman Moody intake? And they're like, no. You're like, oh, I have no idea.
Noises, though, especially when it comes to like squeaks,
Yeah.
they can come from the weirdest places. Wherever you think it is, it's generally not there.
Right. Yeah.
You guys chasing this? You got any?
No, I think the weirdest thing we chased was that exhaust tone on Nick's Lincoln. That car sounded amazing. I kind of told you about that, but about 1800 RPM, you'd tip into it and it had this strangest like tone to it.
Like a banshee.
Yeah. It
or
kind of
something.
it was bizarre.
Not in a good way.
It would, when I drove the car, you could kind of drive around it. You're like, I know it's coming. I'm gonna lean into it a little bit and get past it, right? And couldn't figure it out, but it always bothered us. And Nick said something about it one day. And I'm like, all right, man, bring it in. We'll screw with it. And that's when we started playing around with drone tubes and did the equation that one of the guys in the shops found. And I don't even know what the hell it was. Felt like,
quantum physics.
Yeah, mathematician, doing all this stuff, and it freaking worked. Like it worked really well. That was the weirdest one that we've had to, kind of power through. But yeah, the little squeaks and stuff can drive you crazy. But haven't had anything quite like that forward. You guys explained.
Should be a new segment. Something we found.
Yeah,
Something that
help the industry.
Yeah,
there should be one little bastard of a fight that you went through that you solved.
Power steering hose one that we.
That's
just
an interesting
across.
one. Yeah, this one's worth sharing because this was news to me. Like we had we were doing a favor for another shop that had a local customer. They did a car for a beautiful car, but every time he would turn it, you would just get, and it was only one direction.
It's just to the left.
To the left, you just get this terrible like power steering groan out of it, right? And we're just figure, well, all right, there's a look through the system. Is the pulley slipping? Does it not have good belt wrap? Is it just the pump going bad? Is it a rack? Is it a pump? Like then you get to the point where you start like digging into those things and you check the power steering valve and you check everything's like done perfectly. So at that point you're like, well, you could just throw some parts at it, right? You throw a pump on it,
right,
and it gets like incrementally better. And then all of a sudden you drive it,
put a rack in it,
dude, right back. You're like, oh man, I wonder if something went bad in the pump and it pushed it through the rack. Like it's easy enough to swap it. Let's just swap the rack. We got one here. Throw the rack in it. It's still there, and you're chasing everything and you just cannot find it. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. So I actually called a couple different power steering guys, and I was talking to the dude from Turn 1, and I'm explaining it to him, and it's like he's taking the words out of my mouth as I'm saying it. And he's like, yeah, it's your high pressure hose. I'm like, well, what do you mean the high pressure hose? So how long is it? Well, it's going from the pump to the rack, I don't know, it's foot long or something like that. Is there any loops in it, or is it just like a straight shot? I didn't build the car, but I'm trying to visualize. I think it's just kind of like A to B, Right. Oh yeah. Get that out of there. Why don't you put like 2 feet of hose? I assume that's like the
PTFE.
PTFE line hose. Get that out of there because you're getting like like a harmonic through that hose, and use something like an AeroQuip or a hydraulic hose that'll absorb the sound. I'm assuming it's probably laying on like an inner fender or something and resonating. And
oh man,
I'm like, oh, this is good info. Let me take this and digest it. We go out there and look at it. I'm like, yeah, sure enough, small hose, PTFE line laying like right up against, kind of touches the frame, touches the inner fender a little bit. It's literally like the harmonic of the fluid going through it. So if you extend that, put additional length in the line, use like an AeroQuip line or an Eaton line.
Something soft.
Even if you got to give yourself like a loop or something, gone.
Awesome.
Completely gone.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things, like you would fight it forever, because I would have never thought of it.
Yeah.
They said it was the pump doesn't put out like a linear. It just comes out in like bursts. So you're getting a harmonic going through the line. And that's just vibrating off of stuff. And the short, hard lines amplifies it. And it's shit. We've chased a couple cars forever. You've
telephone with a cup on a tight string.
Right.
Now do telephone with a slack string. It's just the same thing. The sound doesn't transmit through it.
Did you have a treehouse when you were a kid?
Fucking badass treehouse.
No, he's so old, that's all they had for phones.
My whole family lived in a treehouse.
Alabama.
Roll Tide, baby.
What do you guys feel about the
I'm
state?
going to touch that. Of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Oh, you can't say that anymore, right? Didn't they get their ass kicked and lost their coach and all that kind of stuff?
We didn't get our ass kicked.
Did you win?
Didn't win.
You lost your pride and joy, though, didn't you? Your savior.
He stepped down. He retired. He gave us 17 fucking years, man. He deserves it.
You must be talking about sports, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
We both checked out.
Yeah.
I only know the little bit just to fuck with them.
About it. Know enough to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Fucking dynasties. All dynasties come to an end.
All things, including like important shop events, revolve around Alabama football.
Yeah.
SEMA. We would leave early from SEMA to get home.
We don't.
To get to it occasionally,
if possible. Yeah. We also changed the night around to watch it in the hotel bar if we have to. We've done that too.
This week on Borderland, an Ironclad original, we are going behind the scenes on the controversial crackdown on gangs in El Salvador.
He has enacted what is called a state of emergency. So basically, he has used political power to enact extreme legal measures, which basically removed restrictions on making arrests. So the state of emergency has suspended basic civil liberties, including the right to legal defense, due process, and that has basically given the state authorities the right to arrest whoever they want, whenever they want. That is basically what they did.
Watch Borderland wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube at This Is Ironclad.
This is something new I'm looking at trying to get into. We've talked about this off air. What are your thoughts as a shop on the state of the industry? I don't want to get the standard of like, oh, there's new things. We're going to do 80s cars and 4-wheel drive cars. We get all that. That shit's fucking coming. Everybody that's in the fucking know is in the know, right? What do you think needs to change? Needs to stay the same? Needs to get better? What's good about shows, SEMA? Like, give me some fucking insight. Let's hear some shit on what you think's good, bad, indifferent.
Man, I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me or all of us in the shop, is the drivability thing, getting out of the show car stuff. I want to see these cars get driven, it was exciting there for a little while with the autocross thing. We don't have a freaking autocross up in the Pacific Northwest for good guys. So we have to go down to Pleasanton. That would be a big deal. I like that stuff. But even like, you know, we talked earlier about good guys doing the was it a drivability thing for Muscle Machine of the Year?
Yeah.
That's a cool deal. Like I want to see that with everything. You know, we haven't done one of those road tours yet, but hear you guys talk about it all the time.
Yeah, there's really nothing along that line.
You guys ain't done car shit yet.
I know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking
You guys
like
gotta
the
have some
road tours.
You guys must have some beautiful roads, though.
Oh, yeah.
up by you to
For sure.
get out and rip.
So for me, that's the biggest thing. I want to use these cars. You know, get them out. You know, road tour would be my ultimate. If I get a couple customers to do that, you know, I think that'd be a freaking blast. You know, and then as far as my take on kind of direction of industry, or maybe what I'm looking forward to, is, you know, you said don't touch on 80s builds. Okay.
No, I just didn't want the standard canned answer. Of, we're all getting older and we all like the shit we grew up with.
Yeah, no, like the European stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like Tucci's did that Mercedes. Like
That's cool.
that's cool as hell. Because you get to kind of put your own style and twist on a car that isn't a hot rod, but you know, still has a lot of cool style from factory, and you can, you know, kind of take that and run with it.
Yeah, it's
So,
virgin territory.
yeah, it is for hot rod guys. I definitely think so. You know, there's, you know, import guys maybe already have that dialed in or whatever.
Yeah, but none of us give a fuck what they think.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it.
I think that's where we have always tried to head to, is the less mainstream, you know, like like the Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like we didn't bag it, we didn't put Steelies on it. Like
You made it a
we ruined that
fucking,
car.
right,
like
it's
race car.
yeah, we put race car wheels on it, but with the European thing, like and with the industry going towards 80s cars, 4-wheel drives, that's awesome. And that's, you know, it needs to always progress. But at the same time, there always needs to be that outside edge where you're doing the stuff that's like, oh, yeah, man, I never even thought about doing one of those. Like that's got cool style or whatever.
Yeah.
But
If a guy comes to you tomorrow and he's like, I got 7 figures plus, right? Let's fucking build it.
Mhm.
Whatever you guys want.
Yeah.
Right? He comes in with his denim shirt, right, and his little train conductor hat, and he's like,
He's not wearing that if he's dropping like if he says he's got 7 figures plus.
okay.
That's right.
He maybe wears it as a stylish thing.
Maybe
Like-
it doesn't matter what he's wearing.
Right.
Maybe it's a
I'm just trying to paint the picture.
It might be a Tommy Bahama shirt. Who knows?
Say it's a Tommy Bahama shirt and some sandals.
Okay.
Some
Casual.
jeans.
He's kind of a casual guy.
Yeah, he's business casual.
What color's the Corvette he pulled up in?
He got dropped off there by a driver.
Okay.
All right. He's like, I've seen what you guys do.
Yeah.
I want you to like spread your wings and fly.
Yeah.
Soar, Jared. I want you to soar. What do you guys build? This question's for both of you.
Yeah. What I instantly went like that, I don't even know the year, probably 70s 6 Series BMW.
yeah.
European. I'm just like, I'm kind of digging that lately. And mainly because we haven't seen a lot of them done, and I see a lot of potential.
Well, Jesse's coming something.
Yeah.
Jesse Green is coming something hard.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of those Beamers.
Yeah. That'll be cool. No doubt. He knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Where's he at with
Yeah.
that?
Be working on it.
Haven't gotten
It's
any
in,
updates.
it's in the fab
It's
process.
It's in the shop.
Secret, apparently. I'd probably do like something in a donk.
Would you really?
Yeah. No, but I do like.
Yes, he would.
We just
My
had the dog
man.
master.
Yeah,
on
I
here.
know. That's what got me thinking
Right.
about it. But
Careful, fucking 28's fucking 1,200 horsepower. Dust
Chad's
that
been
ass.
talking donk for a little while.
I used to. I had a few Caprices in my day, and they're still not out of my system.
Bubble Caprices.
No, I had a 68, a 70, and a 71.
Oh, you had
Well,
Yeah.
he grew up on the
71
streets of
is the-
Tacoma,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
oh
Yeah. So be careful.
shit,
But
fucking banger.
Yeah, that was out of left field. What do you do? How do you put your spin on that?
I was kidding with the donk thing, but
No, he wasn't.
I don't know what I would pick. That's a tough one. Because there's a lot of really good cars that have been done a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where we go towards the European thing. But man, I don't know.
Square body.
No, we're done with trucks.
Nobody's done this. We're like the square body steer shop.
A Saab coupe.
Yeah, or maybe I would go like a '69 Caprice with a hideaway
See,
headlights.
You try to hide away from the fucking donk thing. You want to build a. Hey, do not have any shame, man.
No,
you were the.
It's
you
not
were
real.
You were.
It's just for show.
You were the fucking trendsetter on fucking poverty cap clips, right? The next feather in the cap.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bring
15-inch wheel covers back.
Dude,
yeah,
fucking donk to Columbus.
Hammered. They're like tuck that
28,
28,
Yeah, I want to see him tucked.
Carry that thing.
Maybe that's where we got to go.
Off topic a little bit, but kind of on top. You seen like some of the guys, the Donk Master episode just launched, and we've got a lot of reshares and stuff, and start going down that path of seeing some of the other audience and stuff. You seen the fucking full-blown pro mods. Pro mod just like you think of pro mod. Picture pro mod in your head and picture 24s front and rear on it.
It was like, what is the power? Like 4,000 horsepower? I mean, what the fuck kind of power they make?
Just think like pro mod body, like your generation F body, like fourth gen.
Yeah.
Fourth gen WS6 Firebird with, in the weeds with 24s front and rear and like front mount Pro Charger.
It's not that in the weeds if it's got 24s in the front.
Yeah, that car's only this tall anyways. It's like 20 inches tall.
Fucking dumped. And front mount Pro Charger, and you got to be 3,000 plus horsepower. I'm gonna be honest with you, shit's pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool.
Josh going back to the tire shop days. Rim shop.
He's getting excited.
It might not.
He is.
It might not be a donk, but I will have. I want a fucking. I want a Regal. I want a Buick Regal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you on that,
hydraulics.
dude. Yeah.
Oh.
I've always dug the lowrider stuff.
Bags of fucking easy way out. I want full blown hydraulics, and
so you just.
I don't care about hopping. I want to pull real 3-wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you. Dude, I see you rolling into work. You'd call ahead and you'd be like, "Hey, make sure everybody's
out front.
Make sure everybody's up front." We'd have to like line. It'd be like roll call. Everybody line up. Here he comes again. Here's fucking Josh.
You have to park in the dirt. Park in the dirt so I can leak all day.
Speaking of, I didn't send it to you. I sent it to him. Have you seen Snoop and Dre's new drink?
Brilliant.
Gin and juice in like a, like fucking, what are those things?
Like
High
a
noons
fizzy
or something like that.
It took them fucking 20 years to come up with it.
The marketing is awesome. They're all solid color with then just a different color lowrider on the bottom. There's like a purple one for like grape, a red one for apple. But yeah, just gin and juice.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
Killer.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. Very first CD, Chronic CD.
That was up there. Mama said knock you out, LL Cool J.
First CD.
Yeah, I think I had Insane in the Brain by Cypress Hill.
First CD.
I think Beastie Boys.
Licensed to Ill.
Yeah.
Can I sit this part out?
No.
Cassette.
No, buddy. It's put all the cards on the table.
Is this Milli Vanilli?
I got it. I got it.
Informer.
No, I had that one too. I got it in cassette and CD
You already
Like
at the
that
same
much.
time because it was that era. MC Hammer.
Hey,
nothing to be ashamed
fucking
of.
no
there,
shame
dude.
in that. No
Okay,
shame in that.
thanks guys.
Fuck yeah.
This is a safe place.
We'll be using that later.
Yeah. I didn't tell you what I had the CDs after I got the first Dr. Dre, but That was in Atlanta at that point.
What
so
came next?
I had Crisscross on CD
Oh.
bootleg
Oh,
before it launched.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had the crisscross hat.
Did you?
Yeah, still got it.
I wore. Now we'll go to the next top.
You wore your pants
Hey,
backwards.
there's
didn't
nothing
you?
wrong with. I'll tell you what. Old Arthur Arkish, fucking back in the day.
Was
Never
it
forget.
was it cross colors?
Oh, I had cross colors jeans.
All right. Did you wear them backwards?
No, my mom wouldn't let me. I think I tried one day.
My mom wouldn't let me
like,
either, but I also went to school and I went to the bathroom and I spun them around. Yeah. Yeah. Cross colors.
Yeah, it was the baseball jersey backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, those were the days.
Braves jersey and some cross color jeans. That lasted about a week.
Back to the car shit.
Yeah.
To spin that to you, what do you build? Unlimited budget. Somebody comes to you.
Lambo LP 200 2000. The Rambo Lambo.
So that could happen.
The Rambo Lambo.
Bobby is actively searching.
Really?
Yeah. He wants a drive. He wants the nice driver, the LS powered.
You can drive it. It's just you can also jump it.
He was looking.
You can also jump it.
Bobby was looking at one and he sent me.
They bring big.
Yeah, he was hoping to score it on Bring a Trailer, but they go crazy. But when you start like really digging into that, like the mechanicals, you guys ever looked at one of those trucks?
Underneath looks like a jungle gym.
Yeah, it does.
So what is wild?
So it was a 4-wheel drive. It was like an off-road truck, Lambo.
Okay, yeah.
Back in like the late 80s.
Yep.
And it was actually like kind of like the military used them for some shit at some point. They were kind of like high performance, but it looks like homemade.
Right. Very
crazy. The mechanicals in it and like the ergonomics. You look at like the pedals and where the shifter's at, and it's just ridiculous. But
yeah.
LM002. Sorry, I said the wrong number.
So you can find an underneath shot. I mean, it looks like a setup.
Go to Bring a Trailer. Go to Bring a Trailer, and you can go through a bunch of. They've got like a shit ton of pictures of them, detailed pics.
Sweet.
But is this more like a car you own, or this is a car you want to build for somebody? Like
no,
you just
I want to build. I think that if you go full blown, baddest of the bad, Kibitech Camberg,
okay,
but luxury pre-runner.
Yep.
I mean, this is full blown, all the creature comforts on the inside, but I think
That's equalizer, everything like Blaupunk.
Yeah,
with the bouncy lights. Yeah,
if you were to have the baddest pre-runner built in the mid 80s, right? But you've got the wheelhouses, and I think you could fuck with that shit and tuck fucking 40s, but still have a good ride height.
Oof.
I think there's some shit you could really do that would be fucking badass.
I don't think you even need a truck to start with. That's just sheet metal and a brake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fab's easy. The body mods are super easy.
The car that paved the way to off-road vehicles.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
You don't see it?
I don't see it. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you can see.
But you saw the dong?
Yeah. You can see that? Be honest, Chad. This is a safe
I'm
place,
not going to take away his vision.
I'm not taking it away. I'm just saying.
You're telling me that right there.
I'm with you on this one, actually. Dude.
The front end,
it kind of looks like a Playmobil truck.
Needs some love.
Let's get down to. All right, check out this
lavish
interior.
That's pretty wild.
But dude, look under the hood. Imagine
is that
like
V12?
Imagine that somebody brings this to you and they're like, it's not running.
It'll crank over. Yeah.
Why does it need that massive hood scoop?
To fit the V12.
Probably, yeah. But look at that. That's
for the mice to go in and out.
Wow.
And it's like all-wheel drive.
Dude, I'm telling you what.
Okay.
If anybody doesn't get that right there,
yeah.
Look at that front wheelhouse. Yeah. You're telling me you couldn't do a little bit of a bump up and fit a fucking massive fucking set of meats?
I mean, it's got to be 37s on it.
It's got 35. Big boys on it now.
Oh, let's get to the luxurious part here.
I want to do this and make it so fucking badass, and then do a badass video with Dolph Lundgren driving it. You're telling me that
Dolph?
Yeah, Dolph.
Look at that. Look at those pedals.
Those never overlap.
I can hear him squeak. Just
there's some things that would need to be updated, but
real wood grain.
220 miles per hour.
That's kilometers.
No, go back to it.
Really?
Go back to it.
MPH. KMH.
Oh, all right. The whitest. All right, you're right.
Yeah.
Got an ashtray. You're set.
Ashtray cigarette.
I'm telling you.
Hey, for you,
people can call me.
You turn that whole center section into an ashtray.
Yeah.
With a rake in it, like a Zen garden. You gotta rake the butts out of it.
Let me find the suspension. Just one.
I'm telling you, there's got to be people that are out there listening that are with me. That could be a bad build.
I'm honestly with you on this one. I'm with you. Yeah. It's cool.
What about you?
If it were like no budget, carte blanche, do what you want, for the fun factor and like the freedom, I'd probably build some kind of like just crazy one-off roadster, all-wheel drive, mid-engine type thing. Like small wheelbase, fat tires, like sequential trans, something that's like just wrap everything that I like into one.
Ariel Atom with more body.
Yeah, like way more advanced than I mean, Ariel Atom's cool, but it's just, you know, it's kind of like almost like a UTV for the street.
More car-like than that.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Panther is something I've always wanted to build, something rad over the top, but I think if it was just like you could do whatever you wanted, that's just clean sheet. You don't have to work around anything.
All-wheel drive would be fun to play with too.
Yeah.
That's where all the wheels spin.
Oh, yeah.
All. Yeah.
Wow.
Roughly 100% of them.
What about you?
I've been on a big like Porsche Baja Safari kick lately. Love that thing that Russell built. Did like just all out badass. Could be a street car, could be off road. Do both. Beat the shit out of it. Drive it.
You've got that. We'll just rebody the fucking Raptor.
It'd be hard to put a Porsche body.
Put like a little ducktail on the back.
It's a body on frame. Just
take the spare tire off and do a little like.
Bad idea.
Those are cool though. That's like something that would just be so bitchin' to own.
Yeah, like the thing that Singer built was just the coolest thing ever. I thought up there.
Yeah,
coolest, but
it's cool. Yeah, I'd like to drive one.
Yeah,
beat on it. So Donk, you're going down in history
unofficially.
Yeah, unofficially.
I'm sure I could come up with something better than that.
Do you go like if it's like a Lando? Is that Chanel or Louis Vuitton? What are you putting on it?
Ostrich.
Yeah, we had one in the show.
Just
it was ostrich.
That texture, just for the texture. Yeah.
Oh, we had fucking Burberry.
Yeah. We had a Cadillac with a white alligator skin roof. And they covered the whole back window and put a giant Playboy bunny instead of the rear window.
Tasteful.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I sent you those fucking pictures of those Cadillacs that we were doing all the fucking skirts on for that funeral home? And I said that Cadillac gave them to us for free.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I believe that.
I know.
You, though.
For a long
like
time.
This motherfucker.
We were doing.
You had like a giant hauler full of them show up. Right?
Yeah, we had a hauler full of the back in the day when the Cadillac just dropped the CT6, the big Cadillac. This is before they were even on like the showroom floors. We had a hauler show up and drop a load of them off because we were doing aluminum skirts on them for a funeral home company. And I sent him pictures before we started working on them, whatever. And it's like, we've been friends for a long time. It's like, dude, you're never gonna believe it. Like, met this dude at a show, fucking works for Cadillac. Told him that like it'd be super cool if all the guys in the shop got new CT6s and shit like that. So they just dropped them off. These fuckers were like pissed. It went on for like weeks. The fuck you con him into that? So state of the industry. Talked about the builds. First car you ever had? Be thinking.
My first car.
Yeah, your first car. Story about that car.
Yeah.
We get a guess.
We can do that. You feel it?
I'm not feeling it, but
Then fuck.
You usually get all excited about
All
it.
right,
So.
we can. If let's try to summon something.
Yeah.
What year did you get your license?
Oh man.
96.
No, it would be 99 or 2000.
No, it'd be 99. Damn, he's good.
99.
Not many skills.
Born
but the ones I do
and
have are
raised in Washington.
finally honed.
Okay.
What'd your mom and dad do for a living?
Both Boeing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Airplanes.
engineers or
no, just
bluish
no.
collar or whitish
Yeah.
collar?
Probably bluish, yeah.
All right. 99. It wasn't a new car.
No.
All right.
It was an early '90s Jeep Cherokee, 4-door, not the Grand Cherokee. That's a straight Cherokee.
You thinking of the climate? You gotta have a little 4-wheel drive to get around.
Yeah, but like those, just every time I see one of those, it makes me think of Washington.
What year?
Like early '90s, early '90s.
Early '90s. Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Not Grand Cherokee,
Oh.
Cherokee.
Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah, it's like the boxy one, you know.
Yeah, I get
That
you.
like everybody takes a air hammer and just like cuts the fenders,
wheel
and
wells
quarters,
just
wheel
rust
wells
out.
open. Yeah,
I know.
it had some kind of like minor.
I go-
Might have had an auxiliary little like gas can on the bumper. Like what do they call those things? The army
Jerry
ones?
can.
Jerry can.
I'm going GMC Jimmy. The S10 version, S15 if it's a GMC. S15 Jimmy. That's
It's the roundy small one.
no, before that, square body.
Oh, okay.
Man, I want to say
I see.
black, but I'm going black S15 Jimmy. Maybe too specific. What are you going?
I'm just gonna go Subaru because you're in the Pacific.
How dare you?
Fucking shot.
Fucking
Let's get out of here.
Phil with
Chad.
back in the
Man,
90s?
throwing
Subaru?
shot.
That was only communists drove
I think
Subarus back in the 90s.
early 2000s is when
That's when
those
it came
like,
on.
the weirdos started driving those.
Yeah. So I'll go with first car that I drove when I was 16, because like first car I got when I was 13, worked on it, sold it, and then went through several. But first car I drove when I was 16 would be a 78 square body short bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, no Cherokee in your life.
I haven't owned one yet.
How about a Subaru?
No Subarus. No.
What about S15 Jimmy?
No, but I would. I dig those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. You fucking
Yeah.
ding ding
I
for
felt
you.
it.
Yeah.
You ever wreck it?
No, employee of mine rolled it. Yeah, totaled it.
Okay, well, it was wrecked.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The first car is always wrecked.
Oh, first car. Yeah, no. Actually, I sold that. Yeah, it never got wrecked.
Really?
I got in a lot of trouble. I had to sell it. Got pulled out of class in high school by a cop that, said I was racing somebody, and I probably was, but made me call my mom. My mom's like, yeah, so had to sell it. But
Did your mom stick up for you, or did she say you probably were doing it?
No, I think she probably knew I was doing it. The truck was loud. Like, it had a big cam in it, 3,000 stalls. So even driving normal sounded like you're racing, right? So, but it got in a lot of trouble, but that truck was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Are you gonna guess?
We're
Okay.
gonna get some information and see if
Tacoma.
anything comes.
My
to
legs still worked then, so that should help.
All right.
95.
95. You got your driver's license.
My dad ran a printing press. My mom was a hairdresser.
Diesel Golf, Volkswagen Golf.
Phil's bringing the fucking heat tonight.
Man.
In Tacoma.
Yes.
Can you have a Tacoma in Tacoma?
Did they make Tacomas then? I guess they did.
Dude,
I did not, though.
Secondary question:
I'm
was
seeing
this a purchased vehicle for you, or was this a hand me down?
I bought it.
Yeah,
You bought it.
I bought
that
it.
changes.
Piece of
changes
information.
everything.
That's
Fox body Mustang.
I'm not a Ford guy.
That's a
Just gonna
Caprice.
throw that out there.
He didn't buy a Caprice at fucking 16. No. You say 95?
Yeah.
Oh, the third gen Camaro.
I was going IROC.
Man, these guys.
Where are you going, IROC?
I was going IROC on it, and I
I
was
th- I
going
don't
to
think-
ask you if you were going to drive it year
It's
round.
not an IROC. It's an RS. It's a 305 car.
You're probably right.
It's an RS
Yeah, he was going
305
to.
car.
He was going to swap it.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That was my second car. But it was okay. First car was an 83 S10, extended cab, lowered, IROC wheels.
Okay.
So you're
All right.
a little flavor.
We're down there.
The second car was the 83 Z28.
Oh, Z28?
Yeah. We called
Fuck.
it the mullet machine.
83 Z28. 83. There were some weird colors in 83.
It was charcoal. It was a good one.
Oh, okay.
Crossfire.
They
injection.
had browns and yellows.
Yeah.
83s had some weird
Yeah.
colors.
You're close. You
we're,
guys
we're bouncing
Yeah.
around, but we got
some more of that.
There's a
That's
Caprice
cool.
somewhere in there
most
too,
of it's
right?
on
Yeah.
the carpet.
Phil was like, "Oh, this is an expensive."
I think I'm proud that I look like a third gen guy.
Thank you.
Oh, that was
I
not
think
a
I'm
shot.
proud, yeah.
That was not a shot at all.
No, I still like third gen.
You look honestly,
Yeah,
you
I'm
look
not a
more
fan.
like a Fox body guy.
Oof.
I know that's probably a shot
That's
if you've
him.
never been a
That'd be a
Ford
good
guy.
Yeah,
look.
that's him.
Yeah.
No, you don't look like a Fox body guy. You look like a guy that works on Fox bodies. You look like a guy that takes Fox body owners' monies, but you don't look like a Fox body guy.
All right.
You look like the Fox body guy.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look more like a third gen Camaro guy than a Fox body guy. Fox body guy has a certain swagger about him,
Yeah.
and that's no shot, but you just ain't got it.
I don't think I've ever.
Didn't sound
Just
like a
not
shot.
there.
Best piece of advice you've ever received.
Couple different angles on this one too, but straight up advice I think was always reinvest in yourself or your business. I think that was a big one that I tried focusing on. I've always been driven by tools. I like tools in the shop. I like having the nice stuff. So work through that. And then another thing that wasn't necessarily a piece of advice, but something that has always stuck out and helped me was one of the guys I worked for. Man, he never gave up. Like, he'd get his ass handed to him by a project where, I'm looking at it when I'm young thinking, oh, dude, just walk away. Like, this is brutal. How can you recover from this? And he just kept grinding and grinding and grinding, get through it. And then in the end, it's like, wow, that's really impressive. Like, so that was a big one. I'm glad that I had that experience and got to work, right next to him, powering through the struggles, you know what I mean? And not giving up.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's solid stuff. That's something that every aspiring hot rod builder should
Tattoo
Yeah,
on their forearm.
Yeah.
100%. Write it on the back of your welding gloves
What about you?
like that.
I think my probably advice that's hit the hardest for me is that you're in control of everything in your life. Yeah, there's variables there's stuff that happens that's out of your control, but how you react to it, what you do, in spite of what has happened. I think I just kind of took that to heart, especially like through my accident. I just kind of, shit happens for a reason. And even in my accident, like, I put myself at risk, and it bit me, and I just had to decide from then on out how I was going to control my life. So
Do you care about talking about that? I don't care.
Y'all talk about whatever you want.
What? So you had an accident.
Yeah.
What happened?
Motocross accident in 2001.
So obviously your piece of advice that you just gave is very poignant into how you've lived your life after that.
I think so. Yeah.
Because obviously you weren't, it really wasn't running through your head when you were doing motocross.
No.
What could happen.
Right.
And that's not something you prepare for.
Right. Yeah.
How long did you spend, like, poor, pitiful me and down in the fucking dumps?
I don't think I did it all.
Just got right back after.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, Jared can attest to this. Like, people have asked me that. I don't know. I didn't like actively, like, I'm not going to be down in the dumps or let this get to me. It just
Didn't?
no. And I was surrounded by
You're just
people
built that way,
Yeah,
huh?
I was surrounded by people that supported me. My wife now was my girlfriend then and was by my side the whole time. So that I had that. And I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on exactly what got me through all that. But that piece of advice, I can say I've lived, with that advice for a very long time.
That's interesting. Do you, like you said, you don't know. Is that have anything to do with the way you were brought up? Or
I'm sure there's a lot. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that goes into play. I don't know.
were your parents? Did you play sport? Obviously, you're motocross. Did you do other sports and stuff like that growing up?
Mountain bikes and BMX before that.
Just all stuff you could fuck yourself up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Then I decided to put a motor down there, and
So were your parents more coddling, or were they more like suck it up and get over it?
I think everybody around me at the time,
prior to the accident. I'm sorry, just growing up, like in normal life.
No, I don't know that they were either.
I'm not trying to pry.
No. They were like supportive, like through life. I mean, they weren't hard nosed or pushed me to do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was completely on your own decision. You have an accident. I mean, obviously you remember, like, what's going through your head when they come in and tell you, like, guess what, dude?
I already knew because I was awake for the whole accident and everything. A couple buddies were with me.
Were you like fucking?
We were trail riding. We were trail riding, and I got off the trail. We were riding in single track, real close to each other, and I don't know if I bumped my buddy that was right in front of me or what exactly happened, but you know how fast shit happens. I got off of the trail and hit a tree. I went unconscious, like in the impact, but woke up like right after, like upside down, looking up at the trees. And I knew instantly that I couldn't feel my legs. Yeah. And so like from that point on, yeah. And in that time you're in shock. So I was kind of like eerily calm, waiting for a helicopter to show up. And then got hauled up to Harborview, which is the big trauma center around us in Seattle. But I don't know. It's a real weird thing. I've been asked that so many times, and I never like really sit down and think about it. Right. Like, I don't know. Good genes, or I don't know.
Did it ever go through your head? You say you were your girlfriend then. Is that going through your head of like, she's staying around?
Oh, yeah, she'll tell you the story better than I can. But went through like a 6-hour surgery, and she was the first one that they allowed in to see me. And as soon as she came in, I was like, "You don't have to be with me." And I thought she was gonna pull me out of the bed and beat the hell out of me. But yeah, totally.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
that's a damn good piece of advice. And no offense, yours is all right. But he's got a little more seasoning on his.
It's not. I mean, it's not just in like a traumatic event or something that happened to you through your life. Like,
exactly.
You got somebody that's fucking shows up for work late every day. You got somebody that shows up that is, you know, not motivated or what. Like, you're in control of everything in your life. Yes, there's shit that happens. That,
no matter the shit that happens to you, you can still control so much.
Right.
That's such a great piece of advice. Like you said, from an employee standpoint, no matter what anybody out there that's listening is doing anything right there, people are going to like piss you off. They're going to fuck you out of money. They're going to fuck you out of jobs. They're going to be shitty to you. They're going to hurt your feelings. Right? But yeah, you. Okay. you. And you can't control any of that. What you can control is your actions and reactions to anything that you can't control.
Right. Yeah.
You control your fucking life and how you react to the things that you cannot fucking control. That's so fucking good on, like, you could sit around and be like, do this for me and help me, and I'm so sad. And I mean, you got it all the time of like, employees and you out in life, and people are just in a pissed off fucking mood, and you can control the mood that you're in.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for people to grasp that, though, that are okay with where they're at. You know what I mean?
And nobody's ever okay with where they're at. That's the
sometimes
problem.
They are.
Well, I know. Sometimes they are, but that's the biggest problem in life itself, is being okay with where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay with yourself and okay with where you're at.
So the next time you run into somebody that's down with the situation that they're in and wants to do better or whatever, it's
See, I think you couple that with, go back to Dennis Leary's self-help stand-up. You put those two together, that's gold.
Yeah,
that could fix the entire country, honestly.
You put a little touch of shut the fuck up in there.
Yeah. I'm just not happy.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What do you do to help you? You just told me shut the fuck up. Yeah, something there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man.
Favorite car movie?
I'm gonna go basic. It's Ford versus Ferrari. That was an awesome
Good one.
movie. Yeah,
Really good.
yeah.
Anybody, you watched the new Ferrari movie?
I have not. No.
I've been like saving it because
I've been saving it.
There's also isn't there a new Senna movie too?
Really?
Or something that I saw?
Or
I didn't know
Lamborghini.
that.
Don't
Is it Lamborghini?
I watched that one.
Yeah.
That was decent. It just like I feel like it abruptly ended. It was short. There could have been a lot more to it, but it wasn't
Right.
bad. It's worth
Okay.
watching.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
But I don't think it wasn't like a big budget film.
Right. Yeah.
I think you guys have made fun of people for the movie that I'm about to say, but
We don't make fun of anyone. He makes fun of
Smokey and the Bandit.
people. Fuck. Fuck yeah. Smokey and the Bandit and Cannonball Run are tied for top one for top.
Just
For me.
because I've watched the movie, like me and my brother grew up like watching that movie
Fuck
and then
frog.
like
For all.
quoting it
Yeah.
incessantly for the last however many years. Yeah. That's mine.
Fuck yeah. I will. Yeah. Giving them Smokey and the Bandit for years has always been my number one. And then Cannonball Run. But then going back and watching Cannonball Run like after the fact, Cannonball Run I think gives it a little bit of an edge. But
I don't think I've
I do
really like seriously watched Cannonball Run before.
oh shit.
It's
Have
probably
you
been like 20 years since I've seen it.
Have you sat down lately and watched them?
Cannonball Run? I watched
Yeah.
Cannonball Run probably 3 months ago.
Yesterday.
Dude, my son's like, obviously he's just so intrigued by all those. So he watches everything from like when we were younger. And I find myself just kind of like walking in and out of the living room, like not super entertained by him, but like, I'll catch little bits and pieces. But
Smokey
he's
and the Bandit's got.
in it.
I've watched Smokey and the Bandit so many times now that I just get to the parts I want to watch. There's parts in Smokey and the Bandit that drag on a little bit, that are a little bit.
Anything with Jackie Gleason in the scene is pretty much gold.
You go back and watch Cannonball Run right now. I'm telling you, it holds up. It is fucking hilarious. That is a great movie. It's a really good
Do you
movie.
think that's your, after all of these, do you think that's your number one? I mean,
I don't know. Ford versus Ferrari is really good, but that's more modern era. I mean, Gone in 60 Seconds was great for that time. I've never gone back and watched Gone in 60 Seconds. That's not a thing that I find. You also don't see it like replaying, and you're like, oh shit, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari, I will watch again.
Yep.
To enjoy in a different, state. Cannonball Run. I'll tell you. I'll go on. Nobody said this.
Here we go.
Nobody said this in public. I'll go on record and say that, albeit not a great cinematic masterpiece, the modern Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville and fucking Jessica.
That's a pretty good one.
What's her name?
Simpson.
Jessica Simpson.
Yeah. In her prime.
In about as prime as Jessica Simpson can get. That was
Was a young Josh like running the hot water heater out of hot water back in that time frame?
no. At that point,
that was only like 10
Yeah.
years ago.
Was it?
at that point in time, I owned a home. I could.
It was my damn water heater.
Honey, why are we putting another hot water heater in?
Ain't you got something to do? You go make yourself busy. That was a good one. Nobody ever brings up modern era.
Yeah.
It was a funny movie. Not a great not a great movie. It was a good movie. What about you?
I just
Yeah,
said
he
you did it.
yeah,
Yeah,
Josh is
sorry.
straight.
I'm sorry.
I'm forever fucking like divided between Two Lane Blacktop and American Graffiti.
Oh,
I'm like your
good
classic fucking like old school hot rodder that like grew up in that.
Dark and sensitive.
Yeah, those were inspiring to me
Mhm.
as a kid.
American Graffiti is way better than Two Lane Blacktop.
Two Lane Blacktop
Yeah.
gives you like the chills though, dude. You want to like fucking get after it, like when you watch that.
Yeah.
That fucking movie.
It's
Gets
just
your
a
blood pumping, Again, not
That-
not a
I'm telling
cinematic
you.
masterpiece.
It's a little little hipster Pacific Northwest for me. It's a little up there for them. It's a little artsy. That was
James Taylor.
James Taylor. Yeah, that's a little hippie. Little hippie.
Yeah.
Old David Allen Coe had a saying for what that movie was. Yeah. What about
I
you?
got two. One's going to go a little hippie-ish. Back and forth constantly. It's either Days of Thunder or Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, that is good.
Days of neither one of those are hippie. Dazed and Confused is not
Dazed
hippie.
and Confused.
Yeah.
No. That's
Well,
just
Dazed and
stoner.
Con-
Era.
That's just stoner. That's
Dazed and
just-
Confused just lives as the number one movie of all time. Like I don't know
Yeah.
that I
I think
wouldn't.
that one just shaped my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
What?
Seriously? Oh,
Oh.
man, that is a good one.
That
It's a good
made
movie.
all these cars cool.
Yeah.
Like that was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wooderson right behind you there.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder though. You said Days of Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Days of Thunder. Fuck.
Opening scene of Days and Thunder.
Yeah.
Nothing can get you more pumped than that. Maybe like the Bulls starting lineup when Jordan was
Yeah,
playing.
it's true.
That's those two.
Hey.
That comes out.
Phil's on it with those.
We're fixing to come full circle. Now that you just mentioned Days of Thunder. Way back in the day, you talking about Little Josh, right? Little Josh got to watch Days of Thunder on Laserdisc
I was going to bring up the same thing.
at
Dude.
his girlfriend's house, right?
Yeah.
Which is not his wife now. But Little Josh had some fun watching Laserdisc.
Was that under the shirt over the bra?
It started there. Might have
Abercrombie pants.
a little bit of dry going on there.
Started
And
in
then-
Daytona and got to Talladega.
We're coming full circle when the basement's finished. We're gonna have a Days of
Dude, that-
Thunder.
Is that a
watch.
metaphor?
You're tugging on my heartstrings. My dad had, remember, he had the
Yeah.
same thing. He showed me the laser disc. I was like,
magic.
fucking, my mind was
Why don't
blown.
you sit down?
And he handed me that thing. That was like, it was like a 45-pound fucking plate.
Yeah,
Right.
It's fixing to show you
But that was-
sight and sound like you ain't ever
But
seen.
it was basically the future. Like
Yeah.
you put that thing in and you were like, holy fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah. The opening scene, just cranking that
Yeah.
on the rear projection TV.
It's a
You just
massive
couldn't-
It's like
surround
I'm
sound.
there.
You
It's
couldn't
like I'm
see.
there.
You couldn't see a damn thing.
No, but it felt like you were
Yeah.
there. Hey, a couple weeks from now, we'll be ready. We're going to do Days of Thunder watch party.
I'm not coming over unless it's on Laserdisc, though.
I'm not coming over unless there's stairs in your basement.
There'll be stairs and Abercrombie pants for all of us.
I'm
What?
not coming.
You will.
To
You
your
wear
house.
the Abercrombie pants. Oh, shit. You've taken it for a turn.
Dude,
Go ahead.
yeah, I wanted to talk. You dove in a little bit about talking about tools. Like you love tools, you love reinvesting, and I know you guys like metal work is obviously something you guys are pretty damn good at. You know, where'd that come from? How do you develop that skill? Did you bring that to the table? Did you onboard somebody over time that was like a metal shaper? Or did you just like hone these skills and acquire the equipment and?
Yeah.
Or just really good body work and paint.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
well, you should. I mean, I
Sculptor.
see it in
Yeah.
bare metal, so it's
Yeah.
obviously
Um,
pretty good.
No, a little bit of both, honestly. Like, it's something I've always wanted to learn, and I'm the type of person that I just learn by doing it, or watching a freaking video or opening up. Like I've got all those, how to build a hot rod books, right, that I read when I was 16. But just doing it, going out there and screwing around. I didn't really take any classes, courses, seminars. I mean, I did later on, we did like a hammer fab seminar. We all did that several years ago, but just collecting the tools, learning how to use them, playing with them, I mean, that was my focus, right? Like I was never into sports, nothing like that. It was just work and, how do I get better? And then, hiring the different guys, every guy that's worked for me has taught me something, even if they don't know anything, you can learn something just from somebody's, way of looking at something. They don't have the bad habits that I may have, or, other guys may have. So, yeah, bringing on different guys. We've all got really good talents. We can all pretty much do everything, but I think we all help each other grow and get better.
What's the one tool you couldn't live without? I mean, what's the go-to or the thing that's just elevated your skill set?
You can't answer.
Yeah.
You already kind of know that answer.
Oh, that's so rude.
Another wheelchair.
Did you
joke.
see him look at it? Yeah, he looked at it, Chad. Unreal.
Why are they getting mad?
They're uncomfortable.
You said go hard. I was going to see how hard I could
Yeah,
go.
that's still not close.
I'd probably say the Polmax. Yeah, like that one opened a lot of doors because you're only limited on your creativity. You know what I mean, with making dies and that's it. You know, that or a planishing hammer. Yeah, that'll clean up a lot of stuff fast. So probably those two tools. Although recently, shit, I'd probably say like the damn 3D printer or scanner, you know, stuff like that. That's really pulling its weight lately.
That and that central pneumatic air saw. I'm telling you what.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, you're not right. Just like the planishing hammer, like that's my least favorite tool in the shop, and also my favorite. Like you're not going to make any friends running that damn thing.
Dude, I'd listen to that all day over a cheap ass air saw. Because
that's where I was going.
Because you know it's not doing shit.
Right.
Like it's the
Just
patience,
taking the metal and moving it
the
in and out.
patience of some people with like a Harbor Freight air saw.
No
way.
And the Polmax and even the planishing hammer are those tools too, where like, God, we've gone weeks, months without using them. Where there's only 4 of us, so like during the stages of a build, some of that stuff sits for a while because we're doing other stuff, final assembly or whatnot. But man, it's one of those when you do come back to, like, they're so valuable. Like, it changed, especially getting the planishing hammer,
the CP.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Because what was that, Wonder Flute or
water
flute or
water flute or something?
Yeah,
they pronounce it.
That's the one we had first, and it worked, but not as good as that CP.
Yeah.
So you got like an OG CP?
Yeah.
That's a cool piece.
36 inch. Like,
nice.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, where did you score that?
Guy that works for me, Ross, his brother found it at was it like a warehouse or something in California?
Yeah,
called
some guys
Ross
selling a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I think you guys might be interested in this. And Ross is like, dude, I think my brother just scored something.
That's cool.
Yeah, we got it for a song. Like
down in Chaz, an occupational zone.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
I can use the planishing hammer. I've said somebody else push on the pedal for me. It's no joke.
I'm sure it makes sense.
Right up on that thing, dude. You get like we've got the like the Seacook one, and it's got that fucking long ass.
Oh yeah.
If you're doing a big panel, fucking
and
wheelie,
like
wheelie
even the Polmax. There's a piece of what are those sheet metal pieces for? They're hanging on.
You guys just shear them for.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of different ones in there, and there's one that I use to like wedge the pedal on.
Yeah,
it works.
Just go for it.
Fuck yeah.
That Polmax is probably the most versatile machine.
It is.
There is though.
Yeah.
There's some things that you can make that you physically couldn't make without that machine.
Right.
There's a lot of other machines that you could find other ways to make or do the thing that you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. Even the planishing hammer, not greatly, but you could do like depending on the die that you make, there's things that you can do in that Polmax that you.
It just opens a lot of doors, right? Like you can get more creative with whatever part you're building.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's fun. I enjoy the equipment, and I think the guys in the shop do as well. You know what I mean? So always pushing for more, and that's what makes it fun. You know, I like having the right stuff.
How do you guys have your team set up? Do you have guys that have kind of specialties in certain areas, or you said you're kind of all bouncing around? So is it everybody follows one car through the shop?
Yeah. I mean, we all have our own projects now. I've got Chad and Ross paired up on one of our big projects, and Andrew is doing some heavy fab on a Model A project, and I'm stuck back in the body shop doing a Mustang. So we can all do it, and when it gets down to it, like if we've got Suburban, we were all back in the body shop working that truck. Not something that I think any of us enjoy. But even Chad's back there, blocking down the side of this truck, and we're all capable of every aspect of the build.
It takes 4 guys to hold a damn 6 foot
Jeez.
long block.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think we all also are very strong in certain areas. You know, Chad sticks to, lately you've been doing just a bunch of plumbing, fab, smaller jobs. Like we've got Michael's 454 SS in that we're doing suspension upgrades to. He enjoys that stuff, knocks it out real quick. So smaller jobs come in, he'll work on that as well. But Ross is mainly like our heavy fab. Andrew enjoys that as well, and he's super capable in the body shop, but hates it. Right? Like anybody looking for body and paint out there, we are hiring. Yeah. But
then final assembly, kind of all hands on deck, roll up front.
Chad's super good at it. I enjoy it. I think that's when the projects start getting really fun, when you see the deadline and everybody hammer down. But
well, dude, it's been fucking awesome.
Yeah,
great time. We do have one final question, something we ask every single guest. If what are some of the top shops out there that you could go without ever seeing some of their builds again?
Yeah, awesome. Boy, do we have enough time to answer this?
Oh, we could go all night.
You bring the list?
Yeah,
hello?
Oh, yeah.
Phone call. I see. Yeah. I'll let you answer
almost
that
got
one.
him.
Yeah.
Try to slide it
I'll
in.
talk.
You never know. You never know. It's been fucking great.
Yeah,
it's
for
been a
sure,
blast.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
We've talked in brief at shows and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We never really get to know each other and get to hang out and hear
Yeah.
the stories and stuff like that. And I come away with a newfound respect. So
Cool.
great meeting you guys and hearing
You as
your
well.
thoughts and shit.
Yeah, I
Fucking
appreciate
awesome.
this, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
you
for
coming
having
out,
us.
dude. I've always been a huge fan of your stuff, dude. I love
Cool.
seeing what you guys come out with.
Right on.
Looking forward to
You
seeing
as well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Looking
for
forward to
sure.
seeing what's next. I know you got that badass Camaro that
Yeah,
I've been following it for a long time.
We're back
Looks
on it.
Super sick.
yeah,
Can't wait to see that cross the finish line.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's exciting.
J Rod and Custom
Yeah.
at J Rod and Custom.
Yep.
J-rodandcustom.com.
Mhm.
That's just Jared without the A, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
J Rod.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it now.
Fucking now that people can figure it out.
Yeah, caught on. After
We've
a
got to
while.
do we got to do a whiskey review before
Yeah.
we go.
I do.
We're gonna figure out this whole Roadster Shop chassis thing too, right?
Yeah.
You know we ship.
Do you
I know y'all are fucking close.
I've got
but,
one
like, we
with you
ship.
guys right now.
Yeah, I know,
Like,
it's
I don't know
coming.
if we can check that or not.
We
but-
can go out there
Yeah.
tonight
Put that
and
on
figure
the
it the
thing.
fuck out.
Yeah.
It's all right, dude. We respect the hell out of what you guys do, so it's cool.
Absolutely. yes.
Cool having you guys out here, regardless of
Topper
what,
offer.
A little bit. Yeah.
what you got under your car, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you guys do. It's inspiring,
Yeah.
man. Honestly, it's fucking cool.
All right. I'm gonna tell you, this drink's like a scotch.
I don't like it. I'm gonna go.
Oh, you really
start
don't?
off
Oh, is
strong
that
with
why-
it.
well,
Yeah.
I thought you were like you keep turning it down. I figured you had something important to do.
No,
Yeah.
I think,
Like,
I think he had all he wanted in the first
Really?
half a sip.
no, I did. I didn't dislike it.
I was all excited for it. And
Really?
yeah, never had it. Like burns the front of my tongue when you take a drink. It's like a weird.
I actually really really it.
I
glad everybody
Yeah.
else did.
I did. I mean, it's
it
different.
does not
tasting.
drink weeded.
It's not at
to
all.
me.
No,
It's probably because it finished in cognac casks.
yeah. You pick up a
probably
lot of
overpowered
that.
it.
Ooh. Okay. I think it was a fucking flavor bomb. Like it had
100%. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It is like a bouquet, like you said earlier. It's fucking loaded with flavor, and aged 10 years, which is crazy to find. Where the hell did you
Cognac,
find that?
I was at Kenny.
Oh, Kenny the King.
Kenny the
He-
motherfucking king.
He
is
put
what
you. He put you away.
He did.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny.
He took a couple of dollars. from
Kenny
me.
the cocksucker over there. That dude,
He's got the shit.
oh
though.
man, does
He
have
had a
markup?
bottle of behind the counter. He had a whole run of Weller,
Yeah.
and I've been trying to find the orange single barrel. So he had it there, but it was kind of twisted a little bit, and he just hand writes price tags on everything and these little like dots you'd have at a garage sale. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, that's $350. Like it's actually pretty good. A little high. I don't know if I'd spend the money on it. Like, how much is that bottle? And he turns it $13.50. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
Dude, it's the craziest story. It's like a cigar store and liquor store, and it's like in the most unassuming spot. But any rare bottle that you could dream of is sitting right on the shelf. So you
Yeah,
walk in
like
and you're like,
3 deep.
It's a
Yeah.
museum.
you walk in
If
and
you
you're
want
like,
it, you can
think,
buy it.
yeah, you think you hit the honey hole, and then you see they're like little handwritten price tags, and like Blanton's is like $250, $249.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is like a bottle of Weller's fucking $3, $4, $5, $7.
I'll give him this though. After like talking to him and like becoming friendly with him and stuff like that, I gotta respect his shit, and he'll tell you right flat out.
People buy it.
He's like, if you don't want to buy it, leave.
Right.
People do. People got to have it. Like, yeah, you know what? But there's other things, whatever. He's like, I got a shit ton of this stuff. You want whatever? And he'd be like, oh, fuck, you've got that? And it'd be MSRP.
Huh.
But other shit, he's like, I know I can make the money on it. Why not? I mean,
You bourbon drinkers, any out in Washington, is there anything you can score? Or?
Man, I'm just getting into
Are
it,
you?
honestly. Yeah. Just kind of playing around, and I don't know enough about it. Like I said, I like this a lot. My go-to would be like the Weller 12. That's by far my favorite.
You can't miss with that.
Yeah.
Dude. That's at the top.
I like it
list.
a lot.
Yeah.
I drink it quite.
You ever had
quite a bit.
Redwood
They
Empire?
have cases.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
That's out by you somewhere.
Okay.
It's California, isn't it?
Is it?
Northern
I thought it
Cal.
was, I thought it
think
was
it's-
Oregon, Washington border.
I'm
But
pretty sure it's California.
No, Oregon
mind
is the what's the shit we just drank it over at my house.
Black Maple Hill.
Yeah. Boom.
Huh.
It's good.
Rate
it, Josh.
I liked it. I like the flavor. What I'm trying to find. Oh, all right, 58.5. And so 116.
Huh.
I'm surprised you at 116. It doesn't drink like 116.
Think I'm a bitch? You call me a bitch?
No.
I'm surprised they're like
117 actually, 58.5. I liked it. It's got a little bit of that heat, which is good, and the fucking flavor is absolutely out of this world. It's got just that little bit of that, like you said, like botanical stuff, but it's a fucking flavor bomb. I'm going to give it.
You gonna give it a 7-0?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
That's where I was at.
Exactly where I was going.
That's where it lands.
I almost wanted to give it a 7-1, but I know where we're.
I was back and forth 7-1, 7-0, but I liked it.
It's 7-0.
Yeah, the presentation's great. The only problem with it is that when you brought it, it almost like at a glance you think it's cheap, you know, because it looks very gimmicky. It's well done. Like the label's great. The little, I mean, that fucker's got some heft to it.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't get where the night helmet.
You could chuck that at some. You could knock it. You could knock him.
You put that in a sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, back in the day when we were kids, I'd have put that in a sock. Pillow
Pillowcase.
fight. Yeah, in a pillowcase,
fuck.
I'd have whooped your ass.
Fuck
with
you.
it.
That little point right there, catch me in the fucking temple.
It needs some damage.
That's the only downside because I think it could be off-putting that it almost looks gimmicky. But I
That
liked
World
it.
Whiskey Society stuff, I've tried to dig into. It is a little gimmicky.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot.
Yeah, they're very vague and mysterious.
It's
to
a
let
source.
You know that,
it's a source shit. It's a thing.
Is it Is it like a blend or mixed or what?
This one, now we had the other big crazy bottle that was difficult to pour was a World Whiskey Society as well. This I liked. Phil, you're going to give this what based on how many times you went to a 9-0, right? Something like that.
Yeah, 5-0.
And you
Phil's
just
not a
did
fan.
not like it.
Yeah, you had botanicals. I had like NyQuil taste.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was not a fan at all. I don't know if it's just something I ate for lunch that's not doing well on the palate with it.
Did you have Taco Bell today?
No, I didn't.
Takis?
I didn't have Takis either. There was the opportunity for Takis. I did not have them.
There's always opportunity for Takis. I liked it.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I would buy it and put it on.
They had like 3 or 4 other ones that were all 10-year, 12-year finished in different casks. This was the only weeded one. Not a cognac fan, but I was hoping the 10-year weeded outweighed the cognac finish.
I think the cognac is what's killing you. I think that's what we're getting as botanical and flavor and stuff, and that's the thing that you just don't like.
You've ever
The cognac itself.
like a cognac cocktail, Sazerac with cognac?
I have not. I've had straight cognac, and it's
Yeah,
horrible.
If you go to Deer Path Inn, they make a Sazerac with cognac. It's fucking solid.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it'll change your outlook on cognac as a option.
Hey, follow J-Rod. Let's see. Let's do an experiment.
Don't, because it's just gonna be like
It's not gonna end
an
well.
additional.
So
10.
you've got 16.4 thousand followers.
I'm gonna lose.
I'm-
like,
I'm guaranteed.
Yeah, you're gonna see that go to 14
Yeah,
exactly in a
I'm
fucking
guessing.
hurry.
Now, hear me out. I'm guessing in a week's time after this launches, you'll have 16.4 thousand followers.
oh, hot damn.
The
All
ex-
right.
The exact
Exact.
same. You won't gain, but I don't know if you'll lose either.
You still got
So-
those Australian followers, right?
Yeah.
We've got
Or
yeah,
viewers,
we've got
If do they
2 Canadians and 3 Australians.
do they break that down to like single? Will it show 16
on his side? It will, but we don't want to see that.
10?
On his side, it'll say down to the single.
All right, so
But
you
we-
dig
No,
into
no,
the
no, 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 no,
analytics.
No. It's easier just to say it'll stay the same. And we won't lose.
I hope that goes up to 18 or I'm retiring from this. Please.
It won't go up to 18,000. Hey, we'll do a contest.
T-shirt giveaway.
Fucking I don't know how we're gonna figure it out and
They
who
will.
did it, but
Gonna hire a click farm.
get it to
Yeah, they're gonna.
get it to 18,000. All right, here
Okay.
get it to 18,000 followers. Whatever you got to do, and then just like email us for a T-shirt. Handled.
Josh at
Hmm.
roadstershop.com.
That's gonna be a tough one. Well, they could probably track.
Is it all
The
1,500 people get a free T-shirt?
We'll see how many people email.
That's
could-
a hard no.
They could track. I'm sure
Give
they
them
can
Phil's
find
email.
the 18,000 follower. To whoever.
There you
that
go.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. On their end, whoever that is swag galore.
All right, you've got to tell us who the 18,000 follower
Shit.
is.
Okay, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure
So-
you don't have anything else to do with your time. Thanks again for listening to Oil and Whiskey. Big thanks again to Jared and Chad. Check out J-Rod and Custom. We'll see you again next week.